running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind.
Hey guys, so thank you so much, Jonathan, for letting me know that the title was wrong. It's Gameweek 15, not Gameweek 16, and we'll be here a long time if I was doing the stream for Gameweek 16. Hey Milan Milic, hey Andre, hey Eddie. A bit of a strange one today, doing a stream at this time of day on a Saturday. Yesterday I was gonna do a stream previewing this game week, but unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, I was pretty much at a firework display. So anyway, I got the old merch on show. I was at a firework display, and it was pretty cool. I didn't get back till gone 9 o'clock, and I was knackered, so I thought, why not just do a stream this morning, and hopefully we can get some of the regulars on, or even some new community members onto the Discord to have a chat about this upcoming game week and what you're doing with your team. Are you waiting till the last minute? Are you waiting for some ITK last minute team news leaks to make decisions on what to do with Haaland, Foden? There's questions on what people bringing in Rashford in. I've seen lots of people doing that. I've seen people bringing Trossard back in for Zaha. Hey, Max, how you doing? Almiron is another one. It's been on a lot of people's minds. So normally, we're going to go into the on-air channel on Discord. So if you haven't already been on air before, then consider coming on today. If you're not already in the Discord, the link is in the description. If not, it's just discord.gg/Elite FPL, and that will give you all of the information you need to jump in and come on the show. The Discord is here. I'm currently in the waiting room. I'm currently on the on-air channel. Just feel free to just jump in onto the Discord. So going into this week, what am I doing with my team? Am I waiting for last minute team leaks? Well, I may have already made my transfer. I brought Rashford in for Zaha. So this is my team going into the game week, and like regardless of, even if Foden is benched, like there's a leak earlier on today suggesting that Haaland was going to start and Foden was going to be benched. Even if that is the case, I'm still happy for Foden to get 20-30 minutes against Fulham at home. I still think he's got more capability of a lot of other options in midfield, even if I was to transfer him out to bring someone else in for him. So yeah, that's my team. That's the way it shapes up. With White, Ben White is my first sub. There's a lot of red in that team, yeah. I have 3 hours to kill at work. It's a perfect stream. Thank you so much, Milan, for being here. I appreciate it. How's it going? So, lunchtime for Denver. FPL Sparta. How you doing, mate? Transfers done. -8. What did you do? FPL Sparta. Hi, KDB17. Transfers have been made, says the Airbus driver. Iverson and Mitrovic to Edison and Solanke. Overall rank is 22k at the moment. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, man. Solanke. Oh. Against Leeds? Yeah, I mean, where are you guys thinking the goals are coming from this week? It's got to be the City game, right? The City Fulham game. People are targeting that. I think United could get two goals against Villa. I think United could win that 2-0. Hey, Natasha. Morning, Dutchman. Oh, we got some people. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for not leaving me on my own. We've got Warfare, Miserable, and Max. Hey guys, thank you for coming on Discord. I was worried that I was gonna be on my own. So I really appreciate it. Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Marty, you muted, mate.
Warfare's here. We've got Marty. We've got Max on the show. How's it going, guys? You all good?
Jason. Yeah.
Are you excited for this week? 2 more game weeks before the World Cup. Crazy how fast this year's gone, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of want that wildcard chip already in play with the way things are going. But, yeah.
Really? You're doing really well, Marty, aren't you?
Yeah. 2 million rank is really well. I don't know. I'm getting congratulations for 1 millions and 2 million ranks here. So the standards have changed this season, I think.
I thought you were doing better than that. Wait, so you're competing with Stevo? That's sort of, hey Max, how you doing, man? It's crazy. I thought you were doing much better than that.
Guys. I'm always competing with you guys, but now it's like in the millions compared to before.
Well, I'm 1.5 million, so I can't really talk.
Yeah.
So, but really, this, like, I just asked the question to the chat. This game week, the games that you're targeting is top of the agenda's got to be the Man City game, right, against Fulham. I think everybody's waiting on the leak or a reputable source to say Haaland's playing in that game, aren't they? Let's be honest.
No, not for me. Sorry. No, I'm targeting Newcastle.
Oh, Warfare's been.
I'm targeting
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Okay.
I'm tripled up on Newcastle.
Oh, not just you, Max as well. So Warfare's team tripled up on Newcastle. Captain Almiron.
Oof.
Are you 100% doing that, Warfare?
Yeah, I'm not going to change.
Yeah,
That's how I'm going.
Yeah, he says. Wow. And Max, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy. How are you?
We've got a bit of time. I'm going to be on until the deadline, pretty much. So that's
wow.
that's 2.5 hours.
Strap in then. Let's get
Strap
talking.
in. So that means we've got time to listen to your Pokemon tournament escapades at some point during this show as well.
Yeah, this is true. Might not have enough time to listen to it all, but yeah.
I don't mind. I really don't mind. Joel, I could say hello to people in chat. Hey, Joel. Hey, Paulie. Hey, Podner. Shakalaka's here too. Morning, I went for Wilson. Tony out instead of Almiron, but they'll probably both stop scoring now. Everyone has brought them in. So, I mean, it does seem to happen that once the waves of people start bringing in, these assets like Almiron, Wilson en masse, because let's be honest, they've been brilliant differentials up until recent weeks. Now, lots of people are getting them in. Are they going to fall flat? I don't think so. I think personally Newcastle are a solid outfit, and against Southampton, they've got a big capability of getting, I would say, a haul. And I think the fact that Warfare is going to captain Almiron feels the same way. Feel free if there's anyone in the chat that feels differently that are upon Newcastle right now and thinks that maybe Wilson, fitness worry, is he going to be 100%? Almiron, is he a flash in the pan? He's playing above what his numbers would suggest, and essentially he can't continue his form, and he's going to revert back to 2021 Almiron. Then please let me know in the comments. But Max, I know you're an advocate of Newcastle. Warfare's here too, and Miserable Marty. I mean, you can all give me your thoughts on Newcastle. Marty, is your team? You post your team. You have posted your team. You've got only Trippier in your team. So yeah. Warfare. I'll let you finish your talking about your team. Captain Almiron. Then go on. Tell me about it. What? When did you choose to do this?
A few days ago. So I brought Almiron in about 2 weeks ago, which means that I've got, let's see, how many price increases?
Quite a few.
Well, I brought him in at 5.1, and he that's Trippier, sorry. Almiron, I brought him in at 5.3, and he's now 5.7. So I got 4 price rises in 2
nice.
weeks. Yeah,
very nice, man.
And I had him last game week as well. Now it is true, he got double-digit hauls 3 times in a row. Chances over fourth one, kind of low, I would think. That's probably unheard of in the history of FPL, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. For the value for money, it's exceptional value for money, and we all talk about that, don't we? We always talk about getting the highest performing players at the right prices, and Newcastle are, in your opinion, are they still being underlooked?
I think
because
so.
it's new because still people aren't taking them seriously.
This is a team that could potentially win the FPL. They're probably not going to do it this season, I don't think, because they're a bit behind Arsenal. But they're definitely going to be in top 4. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like second to finish or third or whatever. But if you watch them play, and I'm just going to say one more thing. Sorry, watch Almiron as well. Watch all the goals he scored so far. There's a confidence in him this season that he's never had before. The man shoots. Look at the goals, shoots, and does exactly what he wants to do. Cuts the ball nice from a distance. He's very confident. That's why I went for him. That's. Every season, something like this happens. A player and a team gets a boost of confidence, and nobody can stop them.
Yeah, I mean, I strongly think that Newcastle are European candidates this year. Feel free to come in and argue the point in chat. They're playing very, very well as a unit. Wilson is looking on fire. Almiron is well, we've always known Almiron to have energy, bags of energy in a game, but he always seemed to have too much energy and not much output. Now he's got output, and I think that's the exciting, especially if you're a Newcastle fan. You're absolutely excited this year.
Oh, you must be loving life.
You're absolutely loving life right now. So people are asking about Wilson. Is he fit? Is he going to play? I mean, he's just got a sniffle. Didn't he get the cold? He
did, yes. And Wilson was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, absolutely. But I brought him in because I had Tony. and Tony was supposed to go out for me after the Nottingham Forest game, which is next game week. And no, this game week, sorry. And he's not playing that, so there was no point in keeping him. So I just went to Wilson, and look at this, got another 2 price rises from Wilson since I brought him in. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. If you've managed to get on top of the price, if you've managed to get the price rises in, that's amazing.
Yeah. My
people
team value right now is 105, so I'm quite happy with that.
Wow, that's very, very good. Where is Stevo? Says AMAC in the chat. Well, Stevo's on potato. In fact, good morning. So Stevo messaged me this morning at 7:42 a.m. Stevo is in Torbay, and he says, "Good morning. Just saw your message on announcements about the stream. Trust me, my internet is worse than a potato. A potato will be better. Still no internet if I take a hit. Still no idea," he says, "if I will take a hit or not." And he sent me the following message. I'm going to play it out now.
Essentially, I'm originally wanting to do Salah, Zaha and Mitrovic to this. Well, I'm not going to tell you this one particular player, but one particular player, because he's my cheat code. So he's going to do fuck all. But Zaha and Salah to Kevin De Bruyne and Foden. But I'm a bit concerned about Foden's minutes, and I'm kind of a bit reluctant to get rid of Salah. But yeah, I can't do it because I'm out today. But I think I'm going to literally tell my friends, as dark as it is, look, I'm going to be tuning into Jason's stream if you're still streaming at that time. And if you're not, I'm going to tune into Davey FPL or Andy Let's Talk, probably Andy Let's Talk FPL. Find out lastminute.com team news, whether Haaland's starting or not, or Foden's starting or not, or whatever. And that's going to literally be my deciding factors. If Haaland doesn't start today, it's right, see you later, mate. See you later. And then I'm going to be bringing in Kevin De Bruyne for Zaha. Probably captain him, but
so that's his move.
Down here, the internet's so shit. Tuning into streams and stuff. It's
Interesting.
Even sending this voice message takes about 30 seconds.
Right, so he's complaining about his internet. So if he is watching, hello Stevo. He's basically saying that he's going to be bringing in Foden and Kevin De Bruyne for Zaha and Salah. And if he does that, then he's going to have my team. He's literally going closer to my team every single week. And of course, the irony is I've done what transfer? I've done Zaha to Rashford. And so if he does those moves and he's also got a cheat code that he's referring to as a striker. I don't know who that cheat code is. Maybe it's Wilson. I don't know. The cheat code that he's referring to as a striker will be maybe the one differential he has over me, because if he does those other moves, then we are going to have a very, very, very similar team. Like, it was literally be maybe 1, 2, 3 at a push, players different. Which would be sad, because I don't want to have the same team as Stevo. I want to have the ability to get 15, 20, 25 points more than him on a good week. If we have a very similar team, and of course, people are still, we're still captaining the same player, then yeah, it's going to be pretty boring. So I hope he doesn't do those moves, just from a selfish point of view. But I completely understand him if he does do those moves. But that's what Stevo said this morning, and we'll find out. We'll certainly hope to find out what he's going to do. Maybe he'll pop in the chat later on this stream and let us know. Joel B says, how far would Stevo need to drive away from Torbay to... See, I don't know, Joel. I mean, I would argue that 4G internet on his phone should be faster than most broadband connections that you get at home anyway. So I have no idea what he's complaining about. I never experienced bad internet down in Torbay, but I don't know. Maybe he's in a block. Maybe he's staying in a black spot. There are a lot of black spots in Torbay where there's like cliffs. If you're in a valley or something like that, you may get in a black spot. So I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But anyway, back to your team warfare. I respect your captaincy choice. I hope this isn't a troll and you're going to go through the Almiron captaincy, because I just love the fact that you're doing something different, and the triple Newcastle against Southampton has got a good chance of netting you a lot of points. So the best of luck. But you decided to play Xhaka
Yeah, I had Xhaka for a while.
Oh yeah, no. But what I'm confused about is you chose to play Xhaka away at Chelsea over Zaha away at West Ham. Why? Are you just annoyed about Zaha's returns in recent weeks that you decided to punish him and put him on the bench?
No, not necessarily. I like Xhaka as he is right now, and I think Arsenal will definitely score against Chelsea. I can't remember what my predictions were because we do predictions for every game week in Discord. I can't remember now. Did I say 1-1? Probably no. I think Arsenal are going to score against Chelsea, probably more than one. So why not? He's had a good run. He's scoring goals. He's under the radar. Nobody's looking at him. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists so far. So who knows?
I think that Arsenal-Chelsea game is going to be a tight affair. I mean, the Chelsea-Arsenal game is going to be a tight affair. Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, a lot of people own them. You've got Xhaka, not so highly owned. What is the ownership of Xhaka?
4%.
Wow, so he's your differential.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd have the balls to play him over Zaha though. I really don't think I'd have the balls to do that. Like, I don't mind taking risks every now and again, but that is ballsy. Max, Marty, what's your thoughts on Warfare playing Xhaka over Saka? Oh, sorry, Zaha. Zaha.
I think my first thought is, why is he playing him over Nico Williams? Like, you've got Zaha on the bench, why are you playing Nico Williams?
Because there's a reason for that as well. That's because I expect Forest to keep a clean sheet. Don't forget.
But Nico Williams has lost his place to Aurier.
Me on the bench too.
Okay, now that's a good point actually. So he played 26 minutes against Arsenal and 72 against Liverpool.
Yeah, Aurier seems to be in favour at the moment. That's why I wouldn't start Nico.
That's a fair point. So in that case, I might actually bench Nico Williams and play Zaha instead.
I mean, if you'd think that would he get subbed on though, Nico Williams?
Yeah, but if he doesn't get 60 minutes, do you want him over Zaha?
He could play left back and Aurier play right back.
I'm not convinced personally.
Fantasy Football Scout have got the predicted lineup for Forest to have Williams, McKenna, Cook, and Aurier as a back 4.
Okay, so he's expected to play.
Well, maybe expected isn't. I mean, I would say that if you've got Nico Williams as an option, you could put him on there as a starter if you had no one else. But the fact you've got Zaha there, I think that's the thing. You've got. I mean, for me, Zaha would be in my starting team. Okay, and then it'll be a toss up between whether I would want to start Nico Williams or whether I want to start Xhaka. You sound pretty confident over Xhaka in that game. You think that he's going to get involved with Arsenal's. I don't agree. I don't think he is going to score you more than to be proven wrong. Maybe there's an argument of playing him over Xhaka even. That's Nico Williams I'm talking about. It's an interesting one.
I don't know.
Just for a little bit of context, I transferred out Nico Williams this week. So
I still think he's a brilliant value at that price point.
He is 100%. Because I'm convinced that Aurier is going to start in front of Nico Williams. So for me, he's not as much value anymore.
Why can't they both play though?
Oh, they can both play, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did both play.
Yeah.
But as it stands, I don't want to start Nico Williams and then him come on for 20 minutes.
Right. Okay.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Like if I had like more fires in my team, I might not have got rid of Nico. But again, my team basically I've got 4 players that I'm like 99% sure will start and play at least 60 minutes. So
okay, so Warfare, are you gonna keep this like the way it is for deadline, or do you think there could be changes in your lineup now, knowing that Nico Williams isn't a certainty, and my thoughts of Zaha being on the bench? Do you think that maybe you'd switch him around?
Yeah, I've already done that. So I've put Zaha in.
There we go. There
And
we
Nico
go.
Williams on second bench and Ben Mee first bench.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
For me as well, like I would always lean towards the attacker, especially when it's a defender for like a relegation team. Like I know Zaha hasn't been brilliant recently, but he can still pop up with a goal and he's on penalties.
Yeah. Paulie's calling you out, Max. He said, why would you bother wasting a transfer on a 4.1 million defender? Just hold and bench him for the cheap value.
Because I'm one, I don't need the funds, and two, he's only value if he's going to play at that price. I've got my full defense is like for a lot of 4.5 million defenders. Like I don't know if people can see my team in the chat, but I've got 3.1 million in the bank.
Let's bring your team. It's a good transition to your team. So you got 3.1 million in the bank. Your team is Ward, Dalot, Cancelo, Trippier, Kilman, De Bruyne, Bruno Gomes, Rashford, Haaland, Jesus, and Wilson. What's your bench looking like?
So it is. Let me just double check.
3.1 in the bank, you say?
Yep.
Are you waiting on some last minute news before you do a move?
No, I've made both of my transfers. So I transferred out Salah.
Oh my god.
And Nico Williams for Rashford and Cancelo.
What? So why did you transfer out Salah?
Because I didn't start with Triple City. So, and this is the game week that I want.
You've gone off Liverpool, haven't you?
No, yes and no. So I had a few dilemmas in my team. So
I honestly do think they're going to score a couple of. They're going to score at least a couple of goals. I think against.
Yeah, well,
Tottenham.
if I had the funds, I wouldn't have got rid of Salah. But unfortunately, my priority this week was to get Triple City, and because I didn't have that already,
but
Salah was the only.
Cancelo in for Salah, like essentially, is what you've done.
No, I've got Cancelo and Rashford for Salah and Nico. So I've essentially got two players that are in my starting 11.
2 players. So who did you take out? Sorry.
So I took out Salah and Nico Williams.
Right. So Nico was always on your bench anyway.
Yeah.
So who's been relegated to the bench now then? Elliot.
So on my bench is Elliot.
Yeah. So Elliot's been relegated to the bench.
Andreas and Rico Henry.
Man, dude. I mean, Rashford's next 2 fixtures are good. I mean, he's got Villa and then he's Fulham, is it? It's after the Villa game. Villa and then Fulham, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Both games are good. So yeah, I can see the Rashford in argument. But oh man, I'd be worried about taking Salah out of my team. I would love an easy route other than De Bruyne straight to Salah. I would love an easy route for me to bring in Salah. So the fact that you quite happily just transferred him out for Rashford and Cancelo is a great example about how this game is so different for a lot of people. Like,
for me, ultimately, it's a case of, so like I say, I want Triple City, and there's no route to do that without getting rid of Salah.
Yeah, but you want Triple City, but to what detriment?
Well, for me, I believe, so my team before those transfers would have been Henry and Salah in my starting 11 instead of Rashford and Cancelo. And I believe that Cancelo and Rashford will outscore Henry and Salah in the next 2 game weeks. So if that's my logic, I think that move is fine.
Okay. And did you do a hit for this?
No.
Okay,
2 free transfers.
So chat, it's important that you didn't take a -4 for this. If you'd have taken a -4 for this, my head would have spun. I'd have been like, oh my god, dude.
This is not a -4.
Okay.
If this was a -4, it wouldn't have been done.
Don't forget though, United are the kings of trolls. So that Rashford in, I mean, I've also brought Rashford in, and I'm also prepared for the worst. And the worst being that it just completely backfires and Zaha goes on a scoring run to this week. And
like I say, my priority since I saw the fixtures and since I lined up this setup a couple of weeks ago was always to get Triple City for this.
The thing, yeah, I know you keep saying Triple City. I don't. Okay, is it the end of the world if you don't have Triple City? That's the question.
If I don't have Triple City, it feels bad. Yes.
Okay. But Salah, if you've watched Liverpool over the last few weeks, it's quite obvious that Klopp's realised that he has to place Salah in a much more central attacking role for Liverpool to actually get anything from a game. So are you not worried about the position of Salah changing in the Premier League, being more front and central now, being and maybe Firmino dropping further back into the tip of a diamond, and then having him and Salah and Nunez up top? Are you not concerned that possibly could be the dynamic that Klopp is going to move towards? And this whole Salah's been rubbish. He's been out, kind of on the wing. He's been on the sidelines pretty much for the majority of games. Do you think that risk is there now? And if so, if you do you think that you're happy that Rashford and Cancelo are going to be able to keep up?
So I can't lie and say that I'm not concerned that he's not going to haul after I've taken him out of my team. Mm-hmm. But I think you have to look past that and think logically and think that the players I've brought in my mind anyway, are going to outscore the player that I've taken out. Mm-hmm. So if Salah scores, let's say he scores a goal, for instance, gets 3 bonus and he makes 10 points, for example, I still think Cancelo could get an assist, a clean sheet and a bonus point, which is then very close to that. And if Rashford gets a goal, for example, I think it's scary taking Salah out my team, but I think the transfers I've made to take him out for are the correct ones. Okay.
I'm
going to be watching the Tottenham game with closed eyes, but
I respect your decision. Again, like Warfare, I wouldn't have done that myself, but then who am I to say what's right and what's wrong? I mean, it's different. It's a different line of thought. I think Salah is going to be, for the next couple of weeks, I think he's going to be a great asset for people that have got him. I don't think if you've got Salah on your team now, and unless you're doing it straight swap to KDB for free transfer and you've got no other fires in your team, I don't think you get rid of Salah. They've got obviously Spurs this weekend, then they've got Southampton at home next weekend. I would want Salah in my team if I could. If I had him in my team, I'd keep him. Having De Bruyne and Salah in your team is a massive luxury, and your team does get affected as a result. But with so many valuable players, with so many amazing assets at a cheaper price, like we talk about Newcastle, for example, we got Rashford at 6.6. Big at the back hasn't been a thing this season, so you can get some gems at the back. I do think that you can still factor in a De Bruyne Salah midfield, because the 8 million midfielders have not been screaming out value. So,
I've had that set up for a long time. We're talking like 7-8 weeks of De Bruyne and Salah. But the issue with having De Bruyne and Salah is it means I can't get Cancelo. And ultimately,
what makes you think Cancelo is why have you essentially ripped up that game plan just to bring Cancelo in? You think his assist numbers have been down this year. Do you think that's due to change or something? Like this, have you seen something with Cancelo that thinks, right, I need to get him in? Have you seen something?
Cancelo has had some decent hauls this season. I think people are slightly overlooking that. He may not have had the best run compared to last season, but when you look at his positioning that he takes up, I feel like there's always a chance of him getting a goal or an assist from the positions he takes up. And also, if you think about it this way, if you reverse it, right? Let's say that I haven't made any transfers and we don't get any team news, etc., and Haaland doesn't play. I'm then going into the Fulham game with one Man City asset, which is De Bruyne. If they win that game 4 or 5-0, Which
if
I
they
think
win that
most-
game 4 and 5-0, wouldn't you prefer, like Badman just said in the chat, Foden over Cancelo?
If Foden plays, that's the question.
But even if Foden doesn't play a whole game, even if he plays 20, 30 minutes, he's still got the same output potential.
No, I don't agree with that. Like, if Cancelo can get a clean sheet, you're probably looking at 7 points. If Foden plays 20 minutes, then the likelihood is you get a 1-pointer.
I don't know. He's been pretty good with the points this year.
I think, like, I respect what the guy's saying, but I don't think you can compare Cancelo 70 plus minutes to Foden's 20. I think that's incorrect. Okay. The points output is way more favoured towards Cancelo for 70 minutes versus Foden's 20, if that's the case. Like I say, I can't go into this week with one Man City. It would just kill me, I think. It may end up that the game finishes 2-1 and it would have made no difference. But ultimately, I'm predicting that game's before 5-0. And if I go into this game with one Man City, I'm going to get crushed in the rankings. 100%. And I did, from Pep's statements, like, I know he's always talking in riddles, etc. But I feel like Alvarez is going to play and Haaland's going to miss out. Like 60-40, I would say. And if I got early team news that Alvarez was going to start, I would take a -4 to bring in Alvarez and I would captain him. Again, that's probably controversial again, but I would try and attack the weekend because I think if Alvarez starts and Haaland is benched,
should we have a little game? Let me just see if I can do something here. Marty Warfare, feel free. Yeah, please come in while I have a look.
Do you mind if I ask Max, what's your overall rank right now?
I'm like 2.3 or something.
2.3 million. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Like recently, I've been having some good game weeks, like past 2, 3, 4 game weeks.
It's not to judge you. I was just wondering.
No. I think it's just worth explaining that.
Yeah, people in like top 200,000 would think very differently from someone like me, who's right now I'm 2.9 million, and I had a terrible start of the season. But for the past 6-7 games, it's been going very well. But if you are there, then you would think differently, and I think we need to take that into consideration as well.
See, I'm not sure because. My issue has been this season is that I started without Haaland and Salah. My midfield consisted of the £8 million assets that I thought that were the best value. And until I got in Haaland and Salah, which was a lot later down the line, my rank was getting crushed because they were banging. So I was automatically at a disadvantage. I think I was like 5 millionth in the world at some point. But once I'd brought in those players and kept players that I thought were worth having, my rank was slowly increasing. So potentially if I started with those players, my rank would have been a lot different. So I do understand what you're saying about the way you're looking at it if you're in the top 200k. But I feel like I would have had a much, much better rank if I'd have made a different decision at the start of the game.
So if Haaland doesn't start, is it today or tomorrow? I can't even remember.
Today, 3 p.m.
So what do you guys think? Should we? I mean, are you tempted to get rid of him?
If I know Haaland is not starting now, I'm going to get Alvarez.
We've got some insider news apparently. So FPL Insider, or @InsideFPL on Twitter, has tweeted. Had it confirmed, Haaland starts. Tick. That's come through. I got a DM on Twitter. So we're waiting for further confirmations from other reputable sources on Twitter. But that'll be the second person on Twitter that's said that Haaland starts today.
Okay. Are you sure that's not Buna?
Let me just double check.
Yeah, you have to always check it's not Buna because he loves the fake news.
Well, I would recommend everybody not do anything just yet. You've got time anyway. Don't need to make any decisions right now. We're just going to call out tweets as they happen. I'm certainly not recommending you do anything on the basis of what I've just said. I'm just giving information out there. that this is the second FPL account that has made a tweet regarding Haaland. Is there going to be people out there that's going to troll? Of course there is. Are there people out there that are looking to ruin people's teams by making early transfer decisions? Yes. But just don't. But just be open and aware of what's being discussed on Twitter. It has helped a lot of people. Certainly when it comes to Man City with the Pep rotation. So as we get more information, and feel free, chat, to link or to link me any information that you've got regarding early team news for this week. We're going to take everything with a pinch of salt unless we've got an actual reputable ITK that has been right many times. We're going to take all of this with a pinch of salt. I think there's many more channels out there that are looking to troll you than there is that actually have the actual information. So that's just. But it is interesting once we get these accounts tweeting out. Sometimes it's interesting to take that information on board.
Jason, have you made any transfers yet?
Yeah, I did. I did this morning. Stupidly. I mean, I say stupidly, but I was actually in this stream earlier on. I think it's FPL. Is it FPL Connect? Is it? I can't remember what it was now. I was in a stream earlier on today, and I was asking the question in their chat, and would you? And I'll ask you guys: Zaha, Trossard, or Rashford? Who would you rather have over the next 2 game weeks? And the answer that the streamer gave me, and I'm really annoyed at myself because I can't remember his name now. Let me see if I can find his name. I think it was FPL Connect or Consensus or something beginning with C. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. I will try and remember. And he was giving me a good example that like Rashford is the better option. Essentially, Yeah, I agree. And so he made a very good case. And I thought, you know what? I've never listened to a streamer before. But I'm gonna allow that streamer to make a decision for me. So I just basically I brought Rashford in, and it's nice to have an attacking Man United asset. Certainly for the next 2 fixtures, I think the fixtures are good. And he's been playing alright, Rashford. So yeah, it's not the worst transfer in the world. So
for me, it's a coin flip, to be honest, between Trossard and Zaha. Trossard's numbers are slightly better, and Trossard has been getting into more advanced positions in terms of getting into the box. Rashford likes to sort of like hang about on the edge on the left-hand side, and he's not in the box as much as Trossard is. However, I think I'm just slightly leaning towards Rashford, like 52%, I would say. Obviously, like I don't think the price makes a huge difference at this point, but again, he's in a better team, and I think he has more potential to do better than Trossard. But I think it's very, very, very close. They've both got decent fixtures, so you can't even really like make a judgment on the fixtures either. But like I said, I had the option to bring in Trossard or Rashford, and I was thinking about it for half an hour and thought I'm just going to lean towards Rashford. But I couldn't knock anyone if they brought in Trossard instead. So I'd be interested to hear what people's thoughts are on Alvarez. I think this might be a big swing this week if people bring in Alvarez and he starts.
2 assists and a goal in the Champions League. So
he's been playing really well. Like, and he's looked lively.
If you know he's going to start and you have 2 City, it seems obvious, but
I mean, that's an easy way of getting Salah back in your team, isn't it? If you're Haaland down to Alvarez, you can get Salah in easily. If you wanted Salah in, that is.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is, I did think about this.
Not necessarily for you, but
yeah, I did. Like from my personal point of view, I did think about this for my team, and And unfortunately, I couldn't keep Haaland, Salah, and get Cancelo. That's why it made things awkward. I was really tempted to go Haaland to Alvarez and keep Salah and get Cancelo. The issue with that is that obviously it's a risk that Haaland starts anyway. And then the problem is I can't then get back to Haaland because I would have not enough money to do it that way. So I think the risk reward factor is not there, but I stand by if I get news from a reliable source that Haaland is not starting, I will take a -4 and I will put Alvarez in for captain.
Aaron Johnson says St. Maximin or Almiron? Almiron for me.
To be honest, if St. Maximin is fully fit, budget's not an issue. I think it's St. Maximin all day long. Like, he's the better player. He's Newcastle's best player.
If he's fully fit.
Yeah. Like, if there's no, like, other factors and it's a straight,
I think right now on form, I would choose Almiron. But, like you just alluded to, if St. Maximin comes, gets to full fitness and a regular run of games, then yeah, I mean... But right now, as we are talking prior to the deadline, Almiron would be the choice.
Yeah. I mean,
people want to see Marty's team. Let's just put Marty's team up on the screen.
Yeah, I have some issues here.
You got some issues, Marty?
I was wondering if you had any ideas, or because I have no idea what to do, and I have 2 free transfers. So.
I mean,
if anyone else wants to, very quickly, if anyone else wants to come up on Discord, feel free to join the waiting room in Discord. Discord.gg/Elite FPL is the link. You can search it in the Discord server search as well. Go ahead, Max. You're going to talk about Marty's team.
No, just saying that team looks so strong on paper, but like it has so many issues. I mean, it's nice that you can just bring Ward in for Kepa. That's fairly easy. Shaw is a little concerning. I think he starts this week, and I think he's going to get a rest in one of the 2 weeks. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure which one. I think Malacia will come back in, and it's just whether he comes back in before the World Cup.
Shaw's been on fire though, right?
He's been playing really well. Like, I don't disagree with that. I just have a feeling that he will maybe get limited minutes in one of these 2 games. But it's not something you're going to look at putting a fire out for now anyway. How much is Anthony?
Yeah, that's another. Have you heard
7.5, isn't he?
Yeah. Have you heard anything about him? Like, I'm seeing some predictable.
I'm pretty sure he's in individual training. So he's like not training with the first team, which tends to mean that he's not going to be involved. So I think he's a definite move on.
So there's him, Foden, Haaland, Kepa, right? There's a few issues here.
I mean, the thing is, like, the Kepa one's not a big issue because you can put Ward in, but do you have any money in the bank?
No, but I have 2 free transfers. I had a couple ideas if Foden wasn't starting.
But Anthony wasn't injured. He's not injured. I'm sorry. I don't buy this crap that he's injured. He's been made... He did that stupid thing where he did that silly skill in the game. You saw Ten Hag's reaction to it. It was obviously there was a reaction in social media as well regarding it. I just think that Ten Hag's just sat him out.
Well, he's missed 2 weeks, 2 games now, though, Jason. And
what's his injury though? What is his injury? No one knows what. Like,
which muscle do you injure when you're doing those spins?
Is in individual training. I mean, I don't buy it myself. I don't think that. I think this is just a power play from Ten Hag personally.
I think to be honest, regardless of whether you think he's injured or not, I think the more key aspect is whether you think he's going to play. And if he's not going to play, you have to transfer him out.
Yeah, I have 2 transfers. I have to do something here, right?
So you got 2 free transfers, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So would you be happy to do a Rashford in for Anthony? Do you think that's something you'd be happy to do?
Yeah, if that's sideways, or if you think it's not sideways, then it's not.
What do you think of that? What do you think of Darwin?
I feel like I need to take a punt here, though. You know, I'm 2 million in the world. Like, there's 2 weeks left to the World Cup. Everybody's getting a wild card here. Like, I need to do something special. And
Well, you could just go KDB in for Anthony and Alvarez for Haaland, right?
Yeah, so I'll take 2 screenshots here, Jason. You tell me which one you're liking better. One is if Foden's not starting, I have like a Foden to KDB swap here. And
how much is
if you don't like these, we can just throw it in the garbage and delete these. But I need to
Ronaldo, Garnacho.
Yeah.
Oh, Garnacho. I mean, he scored a good goal on Thursday, but is he going to start?
No, I think there's punts, and I think there's what you're trying to do there, and it's too far fetched.
That's a punt and a half. That is.
Yeah.
KDB can outpay all of those, though, right?
That's not the way you look at it, though. I mean, KDB could outpay. I mean, if you captain KDB, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people captaining Kevin De Bruyne, regardless. And they're not going to be bringing in Garnacho in order to cap. The thing is, you're taking out a non-starting Man United player at the moment for another potentially non-starting Man United player. You're taking out Kane for Ronaldo. At least Kane's been getting goals. Ronaldo hasn't been getting goals.
You're taking far too much risk for the potential reward.
The last 2 games, I know you have Kane too, but he's been looking fatigued and tired, and he's been playing 90 minutes.
No, I had Kane. I've now got Darwin Núñez and Firmino.
Yeah, and I don't think you'd be bringing in Kane right now, would you?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't be bringing him in. But if I had him in my team, and
yeah, you wouldn't get rid of him now, basically.
Because your team's got other issues. Like transferring Kane out of your team right now is not a necessity. Like
it funds KDB basically. That's
so does that. So you could yeah. But if Haaland isn't playing, I mean, you may have funds tied up in Haaland that you don't want to lose. But yes, you could do Kane. You could do Kane to Alvarez, if you wanted.
I have three City already too, so I can't.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
This is your issue, right? Because you've got
Wilson,
3 City already.
Callum Wilson. It could give you that. Could give you funds.
Yeah. See, like the Wilson thing, and he's flagged. He's expected to start. But
yeah, I think he's
honestly, like I would like bet money on Wilson playing. That flag is just like apparently on this podcast he was saying he's run down. Like I just don't expect him to be like the Wilson that we saw last week. Let's just say that, in my opinion, anyways. But
in the last here we go, Karma Baby in the chat says in the last 23 visits to Villa Park, Man United have won 15, drawn 8, and lost none. It is the best away record between any 2 clubs in the history of English football. Up the Villa. And but let's quickly just talk about the second option that you've posted in here.
So
Kane out, Ronaldo in. Okay, Anthony out for Saka. I mean, I like the Saka move. No, as a result, you've got Ward on the bench. Why do you want to be bringing in? Why do you want to be doing a transfer for De Gea in for? No, I mean, no.
Because Ward, I can see 2 points. At least
you've already got Luke Shaw in the. You've already got Luke Shaw. You could be doubling up on Man United. I mean, yeah, our defense has been looking better. I'm not gonna lie, but still,
like 8 clean sheets recently from people are
sleeping on that. Look at it this way, right? Look at it this way. If you bring in De Gea, right, from -4, yeah, and De Gea gets a clean sheet and Ward gets 2 bonus points, you're no better off.
No.
Yeah. So this is 2 weeks. Right? So let's just look at this game.
They got Fulham next week as well. Yeah, I mean,
but these transfers are for.
Look, at the end of the day, who are we to tell you what to do with your team?
Yeah.
All I'll say is if you want Ronaldo in your team, then I respect that. But what has made you think by watching Ronaldo that he has got better output this week than Harry Kane?
So the last I've had Kane for a long time, so he's been getting those goal of games, like penalties. And Son's out is one thing. Like I know Son hasn't been doing much. People are saying that, but Son is obviously obviously important to that team. I don't care what anybody says about that. And yeah, he's been looking tired. Kane's been playing 90 minutes twice or 3 times a week here. In the last game, he looked knackered. Without Son, yeah, I just think it'll be hard for him. And
Hey, animations. I mean, I respect your thought. I respect your candid approach to playing the game. I mean, you are where are you at the moment? You're 2.5 million in the world.
And I wouldn't be doing this if I was 200k, or you know what I mean, like somebody said earlier.
So you're looking to do some really maverick moves to gain rank, where you're 2.5 million at the moment overall.
For 2 weeks, and I wildcard in 2 weeks anyways, like everybody else.
Max,
I have to do something, right?
For me,
Warfare,
the way I see your,
Max,
the way
Warfare,
I see,
feel free to come in.
the way I see your team, right, is that you've set it up and you've set up the triple C. I feel like you have to you've made your bed, now you're lying it with the triple C that you've got. There's
If I find out Foden isn't playing, I don't do the KDB move. And
the thing is, right,
KDB
is
can
like,
score 20 points today. You know,
Yeah,
KDB can score 20 points.
Yeah, but you
but
saying
it's
you want to do.
it's who do you go to KDB from? That's the question.
But everyone's going to captain KDB if the news comes out that Haaland is not starting this game week from a reputable source, then people are going to flood to the captain KDB.
Yeah, 4 million rank at that point.
So really, the question is, if you're going to go differential, who's your captain going to be? Let's just work that out. Let's just work that out now. If you're going to make transfers, who are you going to bring in, and are you going to captain someone that's in your lineup now, or are you going to look to transfer someone in to captain them? If you're going to look to transfer KDB in to captain him, are you really going differential?
Could I throw an idea in?
Right? People have to move mountains to get him in.
Correct. Could I throw an idea in? So if you take out Anthony and Foden and bring in KDB, do you have money for another midfielder, or some rubbish cheap midfielder?
Garnacho.
I don't know. Is it doable? Can you do it this way?
Because like that's your option, right? So you go Anthony and Foden to KDB and someone terrible, and then you probably play Castagna against Everton.
I'm not convinced Foden is going to play. Foden played 90 minutes.
The KDB is 12.5, right? So that's the Kane argument. I need Kane money to get KDB.
Or Darwin to someone cheaper.
I see Tottenham scoring against Liverpool. I really do.
Well, you said the other day, Jason, when we were saying about what score did you think it was going to be in £5 bet, what have you? I think you said
I think Liverpool will win. I think Liverpool will win, but I can see Liverpool conceding. I mean, Liverpool at the back. Let's be honest. They've been shaky at the back. But against better opposition, they've been playing better. I would say, for me.
Well, I said to you the other day, didn't I? I said when we said about that bet thing, I said I'm guessing your prediction will be 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yes.
And you said no, I think you're going with a 2-0.
Yeah, but the more I think about it, I just think Liverpool and a clean sheet. I don't know. I think that game's going to be I think that could be one of the best games this week. Like from a spectator point of view, I really do. I think both teams.
I personally wouldn't take out Harry Kane.
I think both teams are going to go for it.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Yeah, I think.
I don't think Liverpool. So I don't think Liverpool's sitting back. I don't think Spurs are going to sit back and soak up the pressure from Liverpool. I think both teams are going to have spells in that game and chances in that game. And Kane is on penalties. Do I see, the likes of Son getting tripped up in the box? I mean, yeah.
Son's out, but yeah.
What's up with Son?
He's got an eye injury.
A fractured eye, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah. Oh, he's out. Yeah. Crap.
I mean, there could be.
So what? Bentaker then?
Bentaker has been playing really well.
Lucas Moura.
I don't like the way Spurs have been looking, personally, these last couple of weeks. But that's just me.
I just think there's ways and means to take a punt, and I think you're just being too ambitious for what you're trying to do. I think if I had your team...
there's a big spider in my shed. Jeez.
I think if I had your team and I was going to take a punt, I think I would go like Anthony to Madison, for instance, and then Doherty down to someone else.
Can't do that. Oh, I guess I can do it. See, that just doesn't feel
Hey guys,
fun
just caught a spider in the shed. Let me see.
I mean, there could be
Madison's gonna have to
something.
get a hat trick, you know.
Maybe there could be something else as well. I mean, I've never, to be honest, unlike everybody
he's
else,
coming up.
I've never understood the Darwin move anyway. He hasn't done anything to prove he deserves a spot. So maybe you could still take Anthony out, take Foden out, then Darwin out as well, which is a -4, right?
Can't see him.
And bring in Callum Wilson, which is a lot cheaper than Darwin. He's like 1.4, 1.5. Still bring KDB in as well, and whatever you have money left as a midfielder, and then you've got KDB and you've got Callum Wilson, and they both have very good fixtures. That's what I would do, I think.
So if you were going to bring in KDB and we didn't have any news about Haaland before the deadline, would you captain Haaland still and make KDB vice?
Well, I think I'm keeping Haaland regardless.
No, but what I'm saying is, would you captain Haaland and have KDB as vice, or would you have KDB as captain if you brought him in?
If I took a hit, I'm captaining KDB. Right.
Right.
That's if Foden's not starting.
It's funny. I will focus
This is what I'm
on,
saying. If we don't know, and the chances are we're not going to know, are you just going to keep Foden, or because you seem like scared to death of KDB banging?
Yeah, like I just don't want another 1-pointer from Foden. Let's just say that. I've had him the whole season as well, and then all of a sudden everybody brings him in, and now he's in the dumpsters. Like, that's what I think. You two have triple Newcastle. You know, just be cautious now because everybody's bringing them in. And
Well, I've had triple Newcastle for 4 or 5 weeks, for like 3 or 4 weeks. Like I've managed to hit the good run. So now I'm catching all the price rises. But if
now
they
you're going to start
it's
losing
not.
the points.
Well, you say that, but I don't mind triple Newcastle against the Southampton away.
Yeah.
We've got very quickly. It's going to bring in Bavashir. Don't think I've spoken to you before. Bavashir, how you doing?
All good?
Hey, welcome, man. Have I spoken to you before?
No, not yet. But I had been a subscriber for more than about 2 years now.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for coming on. Just want to say thank you for jumping in, and anyone else who wants to come in, feel free to jump into the waiting room. Great discussion we're having here. I don't know if you've been listening in.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys continue your chat. Sorry, Max.
No,
Yeah.
I was just saying about like if I didn't have KDB, I would be scared also. But I feel like the way you've set up your team and the issues that you have, you may just have to grit your teeth and go with it and make like the only thing, because you can't get like Anthony and Foden to KDB.
With everybody
that's your
getting
issue.
a wild card in 2 weeks, though, you know, I think I have to just go for it. I can't just sit here with 2 million rank, you know, looking at my team like this.
But going to KDB isn't going for it.
Yeah, you're bringing in a player that everybody has. You're not taking a
You're not
Everybody
going.
has
Like, if
him,
you're
though.
gonna go,
A lot of people-
not everybody has him yet. But I think in the next couple of hours, that if news comes out that Haaland isn't starting, I think KDB's ownership and captaincy are gonna rocket.
He's on 37% at the moment, KDB.
That's big.
Well, I want to be on that rocket ship then. Let's just say that. I'll be on that rocket ship with you boys. Because I don't want to sit here on, you know, planet Earth while the rocket's going to the moon.
No, fair enough.
K-
But Callum Wilson is 12.6. If you really want something different, he's only 12.6. And Almiron is only 28. We talk about them like everybody have them. But
I look at this team, and we started off talking about Warfare, and Warfare's going hell for leather on Newcastle. He's got triple up Newcastle. He's captaining Almiron. He's got logic behind it. I mean, I can't say it's bad. His logic behind it. They're in form. Newcastle are playing very, very well. You've obviously got some issues in your team. I would say Anthony's an issue. Mason Mount's an issue. Kane hasn't been performing for his price point. Why not go towards Newcastle if you really want to go for a differential sort of like captain.
Almiron, I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could essentially move towards Newcastle as opposed to, going towards what the majority are doing. You're 2.5 million, and if you want to do something different, then I would argue that that's more different than just going for Howell Lever to bring in KDB. Personally,
So,
the thing is, if you want to try and catch rank, KDB is not the way to do it.
Yeah,
like if you want to take a punt with the team that you've got, there are players that you can do that with. For example, Madison,
Darwin. Like for
Darwin's
me,
in there.
But for me, like if I was really looking to try and capitalize on a differential, I would look at that team and I'd be like, right, throw the armband on Darwin Núñez.
Yes. Like I say, what are your thoughts towards? Like I say, if you're looking to gain rank, KDB for me is not going to do that for you. It may gain you a few 100,000, but the real rank gainers are when you go properly differential. Like I say, your Bowen or your Madison, which is a much easier switch from Anthony than having to rip apart your team.
Bavishir, yeah, come in. What's your thoughts on this?
So just on that, what I wanted to say, right? Now, one key factor which we are missing on is it's not just the player ownership which allows us to be differential. It's about the combination of players that we are going for, right? Because we can still be unique in terms of 3 or 4 player combination that we are going with. And one mistake that I see, the player combination that what actually selected with Ronaldo and Garnacho. Right, we can go with better differentials because we have just a 2-week period for the hit to pay off, right? And in that case, if we just think about instead of having Ronaldo, having a more suitable player, which is also a differential like Callum Wilson, adding that in with the KDB transfer and upgrading your midfield along with it to Saka or something like that, any player which is missing from a high ownership to cover the exponential rank rise or rank drop with having players who are common already, right? So safeguarding against that, hedging against that, and then
Callum
bringing
Wilson
KDB
has a
does
million
make
transfers in this week.
He has a million transfers in, but he's still at 12.6% ownership. It's about the
Those are
range
active
where
players
war
that
is there.
are in the 1 or 2 million rank, though, right? Those 1 million transfers in, those are people in the 1 to 2 million, 3 million rank, all around
Correct.
me.
So,
So the
around the 2
KDB
million rank,
team's
if
at
you see,
36%.
yeah. So around the 2 million rank, if you see, Callum, we have a lot of dead teams in there who already have Jesus in place, who already have Saka in place. That is triple Arsenal, triple City kind of setups, which had been working from Gameweek 1 perspective. So it's important the major rank drops which are coming in because those dead teams are still performing well because the players which were good in Gameweek 1 are still performing. Arsenal is still performing, City is still performing. So a lot of filtration happened between the game week 10 to 14 period where active teams jumped up and non-active teams dropped down. But in the price range, in the team range where the war is right now, it's 2.5 million where still a lot of dead teams do exist. So the key way to jump into the wild card with coming into the active team range is just go get high performing assets rather than just looking at the differential assets.
I mean, the high performing assets are going to be transferred in quite a lot. Naturally they're going to have a high transfer in this game week. We've got 2 game weeks, like you say, before the World Cup wild card. So you got 2 weeks to make differential picks as best you can to try and climb the ranks. Bad company in the chat. I read the chat quite a lot, but I don't want to derail conversation. I know on this instance it is relating to the conversation, but I don't want to interrupt others while they're speaking, even though I have to every now and again. But he says targeting Southampton does not make sense to me. They can easily be shut out They can easily shut out any team. He's referring
and they have Chelsea next week.
He's referring to Newcastle, jumping on Newcastle bandwagon. Is it a good game for Newcastle? I.e., are you expecting Newcastle to have a good time breaking down Southampton?
In my opinion, if I didn't have triple Newcastle already, I'm not sure I would bring in a player for that fixture. However, I disagree that that's not a good fixture. Like Newcastle could easily win that game 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Like
well, Newcastle are playing so well that
like I don't understand how you can. Well, I do, but I don't see how you could look at Southampton and think Newcastle are gonna really have a bad go of it there. The way it's been playing out. Yeah, but is Chelsea a bad fixture? Is Chelsea a terrible fixture?
Chelsea are disjointed at the moment, aren't they?
That's what I mean. Like, people look at that. Those two fixtures on paper.
Second worst defense. Chelsea has got the second worst defense.
Brighton
currently.
Shane
and
says
Newcastle
Brighton's
is top
4.
of the attacking charts. So
I think I just think people look at those two fixtures and think they're worse than they are. Like you say, Chelsea's defence has been terrible recently. Chilwell's out, James is out. Southampton are still a bottom half team at the end of the day. And Newcastle are in the Champions League spots on massive form. Like, I don't understand why you would think those are terrible fixtures. If they were playing Man City and Man United away from home twice, then I could maybe agree, or Arsenal, for instance. But I think Newcastle could easily score 3 or 4 goals in both of those games. To combine, sorry. So for me, I don't think I'd be looking to bring Newcastle assets in for those games, but I certainly wouldn't be getting rid of them if I had them for those games, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I was just going to ask Marty. Are there any games, any teams that you feel like are going to keep a clean sheet this week when you look at the fixtures?
Yeah, United.
So is it a possibility then, if you want to go for a differential punt, can you move?
That was the day, so I would have a double. I would have double.
No, but let's say you go Anthony to Bowen, for example, and then can you go Doherty to Martinez? And then you really do have 2 differential punts.
Oh, okay. And plus Martinez would then take it like that. I'd be playing forward at the back with the center back. Like, yeah.
But if you think they're going to get a clean sheet, that's 6 points, right? So
the way what I'm getting from this conversation is I really don't think that Marty's got a clear vision of what he's going to do with his team, and he's got an hour and a half to sort that out.
Well, I think what I get from it is that he really wants KDB. Like, and you kind of trying to.
So he's getting Kane out, KDB in.
You're trying to find so many more moves to get KDB in, but for me, the moves just don't make sense. Yeah. That's the issue you've got.
Yeah, I need some
like in an ideal world, we'd like to get KDB.
Have a play around with your team, all right, and find some other combinations, and then we'll come back to your team. I just want to welcome in Dragonator05. Dragonator, how's it going, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself, fellas?
Good, man. Good. You excited for the game week? You waiting for
it's all
Man
right.
City news?
I'm just pretty neutral on it. It's going to be pretty late games for me. So yeah.
You in New Zealand or Australia? Australia.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's going to be what, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning?
Yeah, 2 o'clock for the first 4 fixtures, and then Everton Leicester 4:30. So it's not too bad.
Do you stay up to watch them, or do you go to sleep beforehand? Or do you watch them next day?
Usually just catch up on the highlights, and I'll just stay up for probably like a select few games if they're like pretty decent games. Yeah. Usually.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild to think that your live games are at that time in the day. So the 12:30, the lunch time kickoff for us is like, what time is that for you? Is it like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning sort of time?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So that's probably the preferable fixture for you guys, right?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so. You've posted your team. You've got looking at 2 options.
Could you post your team like before you've done anything, just as it is?
I haven't confirmed transfers just yet. Like
just like what starting 11 you would be going with before making transfers.
Oh, okay. So usually, if I was to go with a proper starting 11, if I would take out Tony, I would have started Webster, Gahey, Cancelo, Trippier, and then I would have gone Haaland, but still waiting on news since I got.
I just mean, can you post a picture of your team as it is now, as it's set up now, before any transfers?
And in the meantime, we've got Booner in the live chat. Thank you, Dragon. We've got Booner in the live chat going, is Haaland starting? I'm sure Booner will be there to let us know any news that he gets on Twitter, to let us know in the chat.
I'm just doing the opposite of whatever Booner tweets.
Booner, I want to see Booner. You need to get in on air, man. You need to come on air.
Yeah.
You need to give us live updates about Twitter. You need to be our Twitter correspondent for today.
How many transfers do you have? 1 or 2?
Yeah, just 2. Saved it from last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you scared not having KDB?
I'm trying not to force the transfer, but at the same time, it's very tempting because I'm not really too high on Salah anymore.
I think Haaland starts, man. Team. I personally think Haaland starts. So if you get that confirmation that Haaland starts,
do you have any money in the bank?
Yeah, around how much? 0.3.
Is there any way you can get Tony out and the midfielder to get KDB?
Probably, but I'm probably looking to transfer out Salah, but I also
he's looking to do what you did.
Yeah, I was just trying to feel like if there's any way that you could get KDB and keep Salah. Like, could you go Saka and Tony?
Yeah, it'd be Alvarez, right, for Haaland.
Yeah, but I also want to try to get off the Zaha bandwagon at the moment.
Question for you. Yeah. Haaland comes out being benched or not starting for City. Do you get Alvarez in for Haaland and then upgrade midfield to Salah?
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. If I downgrade Haaland to like Alvarez,
you got Saka and Martinelli. You could transfer one of those up to KDB.
Yeah.
Oh man, like you know what? Like if I'm looking at that team, I want Haaland to get benched, and I want to do Haaland to Alvarez and Saka to KDB.
Yeah.
Because I think that team would be incredible if that was the case.
Yeah.
Like I know people are
also looking at the Tony situation as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at either Scamacca or Calvert-Lewin. It's pretty tough.
Scamacca has been worth it, to be honest.
I'm almost at the point that even if I don't get the information that Haaland is benched or starting, concrete information, I would probably just be tempted to just have KDB in over. You know, I think getting KDB in. I mean, you got 2 free transfers, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that the output for KDB alone. I mean, Alvarez is going to play a feature. Right? He's going to be featuring in that game. You would like to think, right, guys?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think I don't think it's a bad move, regardless. To be honest, I'm gonna put my head out on the line now. But if Haaland starts, you want him in your team, don't you?
Well, let's look at it another way, right? Let's say that Haaland does start, right? And he's maybe going to get 45 minutes, you know, just because they want to be a little bit careful with him.
Yeah.
For instance. And then Alvarez comes on for the last 45 minutes.
That is such a Pep thing to do.
Well, this is it. Would that move still be worth it?
I think it would be worth it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I agree that if Haaland got 45 minutes and Alvarez got 45 minutes, I would swap Saka to KDB and I would go Haaland to Alvarez. A lot of people might disagree with that, but if I think
a lot of people may. They're always bad company. No, I think the move is sound. I really do.
How are you doing rank-wise?
I just have one question.
Rank-wise, I am around 4.6. I've had a terrible one because I've chosen wrong differentials at the wrong times. Tried to play punts.
Like I think in your situation, like I think that is an incredible punt that you could take.
Yeah.
And I think I would, if I was in your position at your rank, if you were, like I say, if you were like 200k, I don't think I'd make those moves. But if you bring in those two players, and let's say Alvarez does play and does well, you're going to get a massive shoot up the rankings. And
does Pep really want to risk it this week and just force Haaland in?
This is it. We don't know, do we? It's all theory, and this is what's kind of making it interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't like
because
it.
who do they have in the next 5?
If
I mean, the next 3 are a little bit irrelevant just because we get the next 3 after the World Cup are a bit irrelevant because we get a wild card, so you can fix your team at that point anyway. Essentially, the game is like the game at the minute is a 2-week game as it stands. 6 or 7 fixtures after the World Cup, you can fix that with your wild card. But I just think if I was sat at 4.6 million, like you kind of got nothing to lose at this point. Like you're gonna have to have an insane season to get anywhere near where you want to be. So I think if you're ever going to take a punt, this is the way to do it on Alvarez.
Okay. Yeah, I just did that. I got like how much? 1.8, and I still have Tony to transfer out.
Yeah, well, like I said, like Tony's annoying, but like you have enough cover that it's not a big issue to leave him on the bench this week. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, and I can just deal with it next week. It's fine.
Yeah. Like I said,
I think Alvarez and KDB is a nice way of having ownership of KDB, but also having that differential as well with Alvarez. I think that over the next hour or so, all eyes will be glued on team news. But regardless, I still think that's a good move.
I just think you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
right?
you 4.5 million. I mean, you just roll the dice, man. Like that's what you need to do.
Like at the end of the day, if it goes wrong, you go down a couple of 100,000 places. If it goes right, you maybe get 1 million slots, and then you're back in the game. Like I just think from your situation, it's worth a shout. And if I was in your scenario, that's what I would do.
Just take the punt.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Any more leaks on Twitter, by the way, guys? Any more rumors? Sorry, I know that we've got Ginger's just joined it, but I see as a Bavashir was about to say something as well. So
yeah, go on. Sorry.
I was just asking. I see a lot of people talking about selling Haaland, going for punts, but I have 2 concerns about it. A lot of us have had Haaland for a very long time, so there's a lot of value built on it.
Exactly.
And is it worth losing that 0.3.4 million? Because that 0.3.4 is the key difference when we bring in players over the World Cup break. Those 0.3.4 million could prices out of a player, or could help us get a very strong midfield per se. So value is my primary concern. That is it even worth Haaland selling Haaland if he's gonna come back in the next week either way? And second thing, KDB. When we are talking about KDB, the last time when we saw City, when they did not have Haaland, City did not score 3 or 4 goals. It was 1 goal, and that too was just a free kick. So from that perspective, what is the ceiling that we are expecting KDB to hit? Are we saying that KDB would be hitting 3 or 4 goals, or it's like 2 assists that KDB would be getting? So that is my primary concern, that selling Haaland for KDB as a sideway move and losing value and taking a hit for that, does it really pay off?
Yeah, but you're not selling Haaland for KDB. You're selling Haaland for Alvarez and getting KDB. You're basically hoping that Alvarez can cover what Haaland's points would be.
I kind of disagree.
But the thing is, you want to have Haaland season long, right? And if you've built up that amount of value in Haaland, are you just going to throw it away for the next 2 weeks?
It's difficult because it's all based on when you've had him from. Like, I don't have much value in him. I have like 0.2 million.
Yeah, well, that's different to someone that's
had him at 11.5. I totally get that. And that obviously would sway your decision. But I think if you're smart during the World Cup, because obviously we have a wild card, you can potentially gain some of that value back by having players in your wildcard team that will go up in value over the World Cup because people are making early transfers?
I don't think they're going up. They're not going up, are they, over the World Cup?
Are they not?
They're all frozen. All the prices are frozen.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, apologies for that then. But yeah, I guess it depends in your certain situation how much value you've got tied into him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we can go around in circles on this.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on like how, like the team news today. How much of an impact it's going to have on your decision. You know, if there's a leak that comes out that says that Haaland's starting, you're not going to transfer him out, are you? Like it's just to captain KDB. I mean, no, you captain Haaland, right? I think that a lot of people would do that. Even though there's a chance he plays 45 minutes, I think. But the point that Max says that you're 4.5 million, so you can start making like real. Maybe the answer isn't KDB for you. Maybe the answer is to get other assets in your team.
This is just what I was going to come on to.
Yeah, maybe selling Tony to Alvarez because you already don't have Foden. You have that luxury that you don't have to go. You are not holding 3 city assets right now. So
I mean, you could do Tony to Alvarez.
Good point.
Yeah, and then just bench. If Haaland doesn't play, then it's no biggie, right? You still got access to that Man City attack.
I quite like that.
And then you can play Alvarez, Haaland in that team. Drop Webster. Play Alvarez up front with Wilson and Haaland, and worst case scenario, Haaland doesn't play. You've got assets off the bench.
And it's a dangerous looking attack. I mean, he already has Wilson, he already has Saka, and he gets Alvarez. So it's a very decent looking attack, to be honest.
Will Bernardo Silva start? Says Franz Dav. I think he does.
Bernardo Silva's such a weird one. Like, he's such a good player, but what he does on the pitch just doesn't equate to the FPL points. And like, I've thought about him in the past, but like I say,
he's not like a David Silva, is he? Where David Silva used to get loads of FPL points. He's flary. He does a lot on the pitch, but like you said, he doesn't translate. Anyway, I think he starts. But is he a good FPL asset? I think if you've got him, you keep him. If you don't have him, there's better options.
Honestly, the 3 Man City spots are so premium. You have to be so careful about which ones you choose.
Yeah,
and having a Bernardo Silva is just like, it's not there for me, to be honest.
But it's a differential. Let's just bring up. So we talked. So Bravishar, you were here before. Ginger's joined, so let's bring your team up now. You've got hello Matt T. Thank you so much for the $2. Good day. Good day, mate. Thoughts on Trippier as vice captain? Wow. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Trippier as vice captain. I mean,
not that shout.
Yeah, I mean, without seeing your team, it's hard to say for definite. I mean, there's worse options. Who's your captain, Matt? But yeah, Vish. I'm just gonna call you Vish, if that's all right. I've got your team up here. Pope in goal, Trippier, Dalot, Cancelo, Zaha, Foden, Salah, Martinelli, Wilson, Jesus, and Haaland captain. Looking at this team, you're waiting on Foden news? I mean, it's a solid team, right?
Yeah, I have 2 major concerns over this. So basically, I wanted to bring them up and get your opinion on the same. So my first concern, I had been making early transfers based on value a lot, and I made the early transfer for Wilson this particular week. Last week I went Jesus when I could have got Darwin, right? So now I cannot do Zaha to Saka move because of that. And one consideration which I wanted to get all of your opinion on is it worth selling Zaha for a hit, or even Foden for a hit? Are hits even viable for this?
I wouldn't be selling Foden for a hit. No way. I think Foden, even if he's benched, he can punish you if you sell him for a hit. Zaha. I mean, have you done your transfer? Yeah.
Yeah, this week I have done my
So
one
you've got no
transfer.
transfers remaining.
I have done my one free transfer, which is Mitrovic to Wilson, and I'm planning to take a hit in case Foden doesn't start. That gives me an outlet.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. I think Foden, as an impact sub off the bench, even still can bang and haul. And the fact that you're spending 4 points to do it, I think that can backfire on you.
Wait,
I mean, Zaha 2 is not a bad fit. I mean, West Ham away, I think he's still involved in that game. He's going to be essential to the attack for Crystal Palace. So he's on penalty. So I think that you're overthinking things. I don't think you need to make another transfer. I mean, you brought Wilson in. I think that's a good move. I think you've got a nice balance of players across multiple teams here. You've not gone too heavy. You've got Salah in your team. You've got 3 Man City assets. You've got Jesus, who I think has got a good chat. I like that. I am actually rating Arsenal to beat Chelsea this weekend, and you've got access to two Arsenal attackers. You've got Dalot, you've got Cello, you've got Trippier. I mean, looking at that, you've got a very well-rounded team. There's absolutely no need, in my opinion. Feel free, guys, to come in. That you need to do anything more and take a -4. Absolutely no need.
Let me just propose a transfer to you, and then we will see. So my proposed transfer is not a City asset, but I want to open the third City slot so that in case required, I can do a Salah to De Bruyne next week. So I'm planning to sell Foden, and the player that I'm considering is actually Maddison. Now that is a proper differential because it is very low owned now, given that people have sold him a lot, and it's in a decent price range, the only impact Leicester attacker, and Leicester have pretty decent fixtures for the next 2.
I guess my thoughts on it are I can't justify, like, I'm a fan of Maddison and I've mentioned him multiple times, but I can't take out a Man City asset against Fulham at home. And I can't take out a Man City asset against Fulham at home when you've
This is only in the situation when Foden doesn't start.
But, like, if you get that news that Foden doesn't start, I'm still not convinced it's worth a -4, because if Foden gets 30 minutes, for example, I still think that outweighs Maddison.
Foden's going to get minutes. There's no doubt about that.
I'm just saying, I still think that outweighs Maddison on a -4.
Yeah, I do.
If Foden is not going to start, then I think I would prefer to just get another City asset. Or if you are going to get Maddison, it's probably not terrible. But, like, for me, I don't think I can justify a -4 for that transfer.
I hear you.
I also think I would swap my vice captain to Cancelo, personally.
Yeah, captaincy was my next question, actually. So captaincy is a headache in this team because if Haaland is not there, then I do not have a clear captain option.
Salah.
For me, it's Cancelo, personally.
Yeah,
if I had Salah in my team, I'd be strongly considering, based on the team news from Man City, like I would be considering him as a vice captain, or even a captain. If
we are saying Cancelo is a better option, but the thing is, a lot of people who hold Mitrovic, a lot of people have to play Andreas, and City's defense is not impermeable. We have seen that time and again that they don't lose because they consider just one goal, but that one goal is, takes away a lot of clean sheets. And City has not kept many clean sheets this season. They are like less than 50% of the matches have clean sheets per se. So
I just think for me, like, I totally understand why you would go Salah vice. Like, and I can accept that. For me, I just think that if you're going to target a team to potentially get a clean sheet against, it is Fulham. And Cancelo can pop up with an assist / a goal. And if for some reason that Haaland doesn't play, then Cancelo gets you a clean sheet. It's 12 points, possibly 1 bonus. Like, I think that's a more safe bet than Salah, personally, but I couldn't really argue with someone that said Salah.
What's your opinion on Jesus? What's your given Chelsea does not have Chilwell, Kepa.
I like Jesus as an option. I really do.
Are they
I think
starting
it's a
Mendy?
it's a toss up. It's
Or-
a toss up between. Sorry, say again.
Are they starting Mendy? Like, is he
Yeah, they're
healthy?
starting Mendy. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're starting Mendy.
Okay.
Yeah, Kepa's out until
In a while.
December, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for me, if Haaland's starting, news comes out, captaincy on Haaland. If Haaland's not starting, I'll be captaining one of Salah or Jesus. Like Salah would be the captain for me, and the vice captain would be on Jesus. If I mean, Cancelo is another alternative, but you know, for me, I would want to go with the attacking options that you've got available in the premium assets. I mean, and Salah for me, I like the look of Salah recently in games Liverpool have played in, and that says a lot. I don't normally say like good things about Liverpool, but Salah to me he's the energy in that team. And he does drive them forward, and I think Klopp realizes, like I said earlier on, I think Klopp realizes he needs to play him as an attacker, as a like a forward pretty much. So yeah, captain Salah, vice captain Jesus, or we could even captain Jesus, vice captain Salah. That's another option. But you know, waiting on the team news for Man City. But you know, anyone else in here, if you want to come in with your thoughts, I know Max has given his. Has anyone thoughts?
I think I'll just. You asked about Jesus, right? What are my thoughts on Jesus?
Okay.
I think Jesus for me is the most lively player in the Arsenal team, and I think he's been unfortunate not to get many goals in the recent weeks. I think I don't know. He's missed like, is it like he hasn't scored in 6 games or something silly? Yeah. But like last week he ended up with 2 assists and the bonus point. I think the goals are going to come for Jesus, and I've in my team and I won't be selling him because I think he still looks really, really good. However, my only issue with Jesus is that he feels like he's got a daft yellow card in him, because he's one of these players that's like you can tell he's from a Man City side.
Yeah.
Like he's a presser, he's a workhorse. He'll press the ball down and he'll, like I say, you see him making tackles on the edge of Arsenal's 18-yard box, let alone the other team's 18-yard box. And I think that's the type of player you want in your team. But from an FPL point of view, there is always a chance he could end up with a 1-pointer just because he gets that daft yellow card when he's pressing. So that's just one of the reasons why I wouldn't vice captain him personally. Like he could easily get 2 goals against Chelsea. I'm not ruling that out. But I think there is a slight risk, whereas like you never think Salah's ever going to get a yellow card. Like I can't remember the last time I saw Salah get a yellow card, just because he's not that. He's smart in the fact of like he doesn't go riding into tackles. He just sort of leaves it to whoever's playing behind him. Whereas Jesus, I think, has that bite about him, which is great from like an Arsenal fan point of view, but from an FPL point of view, there is a chance that he does get booked. So that would be just one of the reasons why it wouldn't be a vice captain for me.
I just want to bring attention to Matt. So Matt super chatted earlier on today, asked about vice captain. His other options are Haaland captain at the moment, which is okay, pending information. Other options are Foden, Salah and Wilson. You've just heard my thoughts on Salah. I think Salah would be my vice captain in my opinion for you. But Trippier, I would have Salah over Trippier as my vice captain. I know Trippier is reliable, like you said, and Southampton are rubbish in attack. I still would want to captain the premium attacking asset, but I respect you if you want to go with Trippier. Just because I do think that Liverpool got goals away at Tottenham. I really do. And also Matt is gifted. I didn't even know that. I think this may be the first time that we've had a gifted membership. Matt is gifted one membership, and that membership's gone to Spoiler. So congratulations to Spoiler. He says Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Matt. So I didn't even know you could gift other people memberships. So news to me. So thank you so much, Matt, for the support and for the generosity there. Merry Christmas to Spoiler. Moving on in this.
Before we move on, I have just one quick question also, right? Just one last question.
Yeah.
Would you consider benching Foden and playing Webster in case you get the news that Foden is going to be,
If I get the news Foden's benched, I'm still playing Foden.
Yeah, same.
Is it just because that super sub potential and whatnot? That he can just bag a goal whenever.
Yeah,
I would rather take
even if
90 minutes of Foden than 90 minutes of Webster.
Yeah, see, the problem with Foden is that even if he comes on, right, for after 60 minutes and scores a goal, 1 and 5 goal points, it's still around 6 points what he gets, right? And if we play Webster, Wolves definitely don't have an attack at the moment, so 6 points are guaranteed, and then he has definite goal threat as well, and some potential bonus. So from that perspective, if it's about 6 points versus 6 points, would you take the risk?
That's your opinion on whether you think if you're saying to me that you don't think Foden's going to start and Webster's going to get a clean sheet, then you play Webster. Whereas if there's a chance that Wolves score, which is always a possibility, right, and Foden gets 30 minutes, then for me it would be Foden. But I understand the logic if you think that Webster's going to get a clean sheet. If I was like 99% sure that Webster was going to get a clean sheet and Foden was going to get benched, then I would play Webster. But I'm not convinced Webster's going to get a clean sheet, so I'd take Foden's 20-30 minutes over Webster.
You really think Wolves can score a goal against Brighton?
Yes, definitely.
Like Wolves are prolific, but I'm still convinced at home they can get a goal in that game.
Yeah. Brighton haven't kept that many clean sheets this season at all. I mean, the most recent one is against Nottingham Forest, and that's it. I don't know. Why would you think that he's guaranteed a clean sheet?
Yeah, I was just banking on Diego Costa being red carded and no Raul Jimenez. So who are they going to play in that?
But the thing is, it's weird because Wolves actually have a lot of good attacking options. They're just, like you say, not very clinical. Like you've got the likes of like Neto, Podence, Wang. I'm not sure if Wang's still playing. Traore. Like they're all people that can get you a goal. It's just they don't seem to do it as often as other teams. Like for me, if I was betting on it, I would say that it would be a tight game, but I wouldn't rule out against Wolves scoring.
I think the last
you have to go with your own opinion. If you think that Webster's going to get a clean sheet, I can't say to you then don't play him because you guarantee 6 points there. And there's a decent chance if he gets a clean sheet, he probably gets at least one bonus. So like I can't argue with that. If that's what you're thinking is, then go for it. But for me, I'm just not convinced on a clean sheet, and then I would be willing to gamble a third and 1 pointer over a Webster potential 2 pointer.
Okay.
Yeah, Foden, regardless of the news, if he's benched, he's still in my starting lineup, and it's a good point you make. Ginge, thank you so much for waiting. You've posted your team. Are you there? You still with us, Ginge?
Yeah.
How's it going, man? It's been a long time since you last came in and chatted with us.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you in the overall rankings, dude?
It's 50k.
Oh, dude, you don't need to come on here for advice. What's so you got your team? You got 2 free transfers, right? 2.6 in the bank.
Yeah.
That's mental.
We should be asking you questions, not the other way around.
Oh, Dave, thank you so much for the $10. I'll answer your question very shortly. So, I guess you're glued to the early team news right now for City 2, right? Over your captaincy.
No, I just don't know what to do. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching.
You don't know what to do. Well, I mean, your team's still relatively fine. You got triple Man City. You don't have KDB. You don't have Salah. You got no Liverpool. Are you worried about not having any Liverpool players?
No.
Okay. So, you've got any ideas in mind of who like in your team?
I think Mitrovic. And I don't know anybody else. I haven't been watching football or know anything. I just been chilling.
You've got Mitrovic in your team already. So who would you take out? So who would you bring in for Mitrovic?
Who's got decent fixtures? I don't know.
You've got
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
How much have you got into Mitrovic? How much can you sell him for?
I'll check now. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's got 2.6 in the bank, I think, so he's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't know how much he had in Mitrovic
value
for. Yeah.
Let's have a look here. I have 6.9 in him.
Oh, so you bought him recently?
No, I've had him for ages. Like.
Oh, he just hasn't gone up in value, right? So you got 6.9 plus 2.6.
So that's 0.5 in the bank.
9.5. Wow. So you've got a lot of options then. I guess it depends how differential you really want to go.
Well, it is rank. I'd probably imagine he wants to play it fairly safe, right?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, but I guess if you wanted to take a punt on someone like, I don't know, like a Vardy, for instance, and if he bangs, then you move up the ranks. Do you pick like a Calvert-Lewin, for example? Or I think there's quite a lot of options, and it's lucky that you've got that sort of price point to work with. If you had, and I say you've got Trossard.
Yeah.
If you had the option to have Trossard or Rashford, who would you pick?
Probably Trossard.
Yeah. Because we had this debate earlier on, didn't we, Jace, about Trossard v Rashford.
Yeah.
Similar sort of price point.
I mean, looking at that team, there's nothing really. I mean, I've met Mitrovic away at City, but after that, it's fine. There's nothing really that screams out. I mean, there's argument that Zaha you could change Zaha, and you've got money in the bank to maybe upgrade him. But then who do you go to in midfield? There's nothing in that.
I think a lot of the options you can go for are punts.
Yeah. I mean,
like Zaha goes
to like. It's weird to see no Liverpool in a team. It really is to see absolutely no one from Liverpool.
Yeah, there is a lack of red for sure. Could
you just do dunk to Trent or something? I don't know.
I can't defend.
Yeah, but
it's a weird one because do you want Trent over Dunk this week? It's kind of crazy because you've got like
you got Kane against Liverpool in your team anyway.
You've got a load of money in the bank and no real like headaches. You kind of like
you got no headaches, but you've got no real reason to bring in any premium necessarily more expensive options in those positions either. You know.
If I really wanted to make a transfer, I think it'd probably be like Mitrovic to
Wilson,
and then Zaha to Maddison or Bowen. But
I don't like that. I don't even like those moves.
That's what I mean. Even then, that's still quite far fetched. I don't even hate Mitro against Man City. Like he's not an ideal fixture, but I don't hate having him. But I'd prefer a different striker. But I'm not like.
On his next two, he's got Man City and United. So
yeah.
I think Mitrovic for Wilson would be the. I think Mitrovic for Wilson would be the standard move here. Any other moves you're making are aren't necessary. You've still got a strong overall team there.
I guess one thing we might have missed actually, Jace, is there a possibility to go from Foden to KDB?
Someone said that last week in downgrading Zaha to like Almiron and Foden.
Oh, what about Zaha to Rashford, Foden to KDB?
Yeah, I think this is maybe what we've missed. That would make sense.
Yeah, that would give you enough money, wouldn't it? Zaha to Rashford, Foden to KDB.
One more move that we can think about is Zaha to Almiron and Mitrovic to Darwin, for example.
I've got 0.9 not in the bank, but the funds, like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to get
you would need
9.5. Yeah,
you haven't got enough.
no.
Could you go Foden to KDB, Mitro to like I don't know, like a Greenwood,
Alvarez? No, you can't do Alvarez. No, sorry.
Just like could you do De Bruyne, Foden to De Bruyne, Mitrovic down to, I don't know, like Greenwood or something at like 4.2, and then play.
Can you do me a favour? Can you just bring in KDB for Foden and tell me how much you've got left in the bank?
Oh man, yeah. How much you need?
Oh, sorry. Hey, how much you've got? How much?
1.5.
1.5. So you can get a 6 mil. Zaha 7.5.
1.1.
7.1.
Well, oh no, 7.3 in my team.
7.3. Okay. So you've got 5.8 mil.
Yeah.
If you were to go midfield, and for Mitch, you can't really do that.
Well, what do you think about Foden to KDB, Mitrovic down to a Greenwood, and then play Gehi against West Ham?
Well, Almiron's 5.7. You can do Almiron. You can do
5.7.
Yeah, Zaha to Almiron, Foden to KDB. That's a good move.
I guess the debate is, for me would be, would you rather keep Zaha and play Gehi against West Ham, or would you rather have Almiron and play Mitrovic against Man City? Either way, you've got KDB, but it's whether you want to.
I personally don't like Zaha because after the 5th game week, if you see his positioning and just look at the data, it seems like he has completely dropped off, given that he has been pushed wide and Edouard is playing in the midfield. So he can also, if he really wants to keep the Crystal Palace attack, Edouard seems like a better option either way.
Edouard is injured, I believe.
Is he? Is he out? Confirmed? Because I think
I don't know if it's confirmed, but he is flagged. I believe so. Anyway, I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, I mean, if Edouard is playing, then Zaha is definitely not getting any points. If Edouard is not playing, then I would keep Zaha.
Yeah, Edouard is flagged. Whether he plays or not, I don't know. But you would imagine that Mateta would come in if Edouard doesn't start.
Zaha has played with Mateta, and his stats with Mateta is much better than his stats with Edouard. Edouard doesn't leave the central box that often. I mean, he's always very central. Whereas Mateta runs around a lot.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like for me, Zaha can always pop up with something. And being on penalties, I don't like taking out players that are on penalties.
That is exactly what I was going to say. That unless we expect Crystal Palace to get a penalty, I'm not expecting big returns from Zaha. And at most, even if there is a big return, that means he scores or assists. It's a 5 or 6 pointer. So if you are chasing upside, downgrading Zaha and upgrading Foden is kind of.
I don't see Zaha to Almiron saving that money as a downgrade. I rate them.
Yeah,
I rate them two players.
I don't disagree with that.
And I think that going Foden to KDB and Zaha to Almiron is, for me, the move.
This actually
if you're gonna do a move, that is, if he doesn't have to make a move. He doesn't have to do anything if he doesn't want to. But if you're going to do something,
just make one single move from Mitrovic to, I think he has 2.6 in hand and 6.9 is the price of Mitrovic for him, so he can easily afford Darwin. So probably getting in some Liverpool attacker as a differential and rolling on 2 free transfers in the next week could give him.
Okay, so he's saying that he's got three choices. Then he can either upgrade Mitrovic to someone like Darwin, or he can just bring in, maybe. We could just do Zaha out and bring in a Rashford. Or if he wants to get KDB in, he can get money from Mitrovic. Or he could get money. Well, you'd have to play Gay, like Max was saying, or you'd and had a non-starting striker, or you'd go downgrade Zaha.
You don't have to do that. So like,
well, how much would you have? You wouldn't have enough to play a starting striker, would you? If you got Foden out for KDB.
No, but you'd still be playing 2 up top. You'd just be playing 4-4-2. So you would go Foden's KDB and Mitrovic down to Greenwood.
That's what I said. Yeah. But you've got a non-playing striker, but you'd be bringing Gay off the bench.
No, Gay would be in the starting 11.
Yeah. What I mean is you'd be bringing him off the bench to go in your starting 11. So yeah. So I misunderstood what I was saying. Yeah. Or you do what I was saying and just downgrade Zaha and Foden and upgrade KDB, upgrade Foden to KDB and then have Almiron. I think is a good option. So I mean, if you want
the KDB move for sure, it's just which way you want to go.
KDB move's good, but again, it's based on City news. If you get news from a source that suggests that Foden's not going to start, then get KDB in. The Mitrovic, I kind of like Vicious sort of Mitrovic to Darwin as well. I really like that. So you've got definitely a headache of options, and I mean none of these options are bad.
Yeah.
But you could easily just make the one move. But you're gonna need to make 2 moves to get KDB in. That's the thing.
If I had this team, KDB would be my priority. It would just be whether I went to play in to keep Zaha or swap him for Almiron.
If you've got 2 free transfers, there's no reason that you. I mean, yeah. Do you think Gay is going to keep a clean sheet?
Well, basically, you're basically saying who's going to get more points out of Mitrovic?
Yeah, Almiron or Gay. Well, yeah, Mitrovic.
Zaha versus Almiron.
Yeah. So it all comes down to your thought process going into these next 2 weeks, like the fixtures and what's your thoughts of Newcastle? You have you have Trippier and Almiron, or whether you want to go with Gay for the next 2 games. I don't know, man. For me, all these options, I agree with you, Max. I would want to have KDB in my team. And obviously that throws out that you can't get Darwin, but you've got KDB and the money. Where do you get that money from? That's the question. Do you get it from Zaha or do you get it from Mitrovic?
I think I've finalised.
Okay, what's your thoughts?
So what I'm going to do is Foden to De Bruyne. Even though I brought in Foden last week, it's just unreliable if he's going to play. And De Bruyne's obviously better. I'm going to downgrade Zaha for Almiron because he's got better 2 fixtures and he's also got 10 points in his last 3.
Yeah.
And just keep Mitrovic because even though it's Mitrovic,
keep Mitrovic, yeah.
He scored against Liverpool. He's done it against everyone. With Mitrovic, it's hard because he can score against anyone. You can't really predict or say, "Oh, he's shit," and he won't score.
Okay, so Paulie said in the chat that looks like we're going to be getting the City lineup in 25 minutes. So if you're listening in, waiting for the news for Man City, apparently a reputable source is going to have it in 25 minutes. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
I think I just want to say as well, like, everyone be aware that the game might crash. So, like, as soon as you see that lineup, do your moves, because last time it crashed.
have a couple of tabs open right now with your moves that you're gonna do to react to that. Personally, from my point of view, like, I don't think I need to do any move based on the City news. I mean, if Haaland's not even in the team, that might make me decide. Do you know what? If Haaland's not in the team, I can't get in Salah, like, because I've got 3 Liverpool already, so it doesn't matter. I was thinking maybe I could get Alvarez in and get Salah in my midfield, but I can't because I've got Firmino and Darwin up front, so it doesn't matter.
If Haaland doesn't play, I can get in Salah and De Bruyne.
Yeah, Yeah, you can download. You would get Alvarez in for Haaland, right?
No, I can't even do that.
No.
Because if I have I have De
that would be
Bruyne.
so good.
Oh wait, actually, I could do.
Could you take a -4 and get that team? Could you go like Haaland to Alvarez, Foden to Salah, and then I don't know, Mitrovic to somebody else, or like Zaha or something? I don't know.
No, it would be Foden to De Bruyne, Zaha probably to Salah, Alvarez down.
Wow.
I would say avoid the -4 for this time. Because Haaland, if he doesn't play this week, he is going to play next week. And Alvarez, I mean, it's a good option, but given your position, when you already have 3 assets, you are anyways doing one sideway move, which you might have to reverse back in the next week, in case you don't want it. I would say upgrading Mitrovic, given next 2 fixtures are not that great, that is a better option than doing sideways moves with just the City assets and taking a hit for that. Rather, given the ranks are so closely packed together, I would say using hits as part of your double game weeks and other blanks is much more beneficial statement than taking a hit right now just for a sideways moves against Haaland for Alvarez.
I think the issue is that if you swap Haaland for Alvarez, it's can you get Haaland back in next week?
Well, that's the thing, though. I know it sounds stupid, but I could, and it's not just going to be a waste. I could just use that free hit shit.
Nah, like for your rank,
not
for your rank. You're doing so well already. What, you like 50k?
Yeah.
Like you would just be giving up such a big advantage that you've already got.
No, I think that, you know, you know, even if Haaland news comes out, he's benched. I just do the KDB move, captain KDB.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't overthink things, because like Haaland, you would want, like, you've got value locked in with him. You're gonna want him back. Like Fish says, next week he's gonna probably start, so he's got a rest over the World Cup. So yeah, I mean, for me, Haaland's going to be a season keeper, right? Barring a big bad injury, he's going to be a season keeper. So I don't think you could see that being a move that you regret.
What do you think if Foden starts then?
If Foden starts, then that opens up another, and then maybe Mitrovic to Darwin is the move that you do.
Darwin Núñez, oh no.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I think that.
I agree with Ginge on this one. I'm not a fan of that move.
Do you not like Liverpool at all in this week?
Núñez is like
I like Liverpool, but I'm not convinced by Darwin.
Okay.
No, see, the thing is, if you are trying to increase the differential potential around the 50k rank, people cannot afford Darwin, and you are in a unique position right now. Nobody can afford to bring in Darwin, and
the thing is, the people that don't have Darwin have KDB, so that's where, like, as much as we say, even if Foden starts, KDB is so much of a better option than Foden.
Okay, let's just quickly address a few things. Dave Lister, I should say. Dave, thank you so much for $10 super chat. Do your thing. Do you think I should lose Saka for Trossard? No, I wouldn't be doing Saka for Trossard. I'd be keeping Saka in my team personally. Guys, feel free to come in on that, and thank you for all the streams. Thank you, Dave. Saka to Trossard just seems a bit.
It's difficult without knowing like the other players in his team. Like I don't hate that as much as I maybe would have done a couple of weeks ago. But Saka's I don't know if he's going to get his minutes managed just because he's coming back from.
He's got World Cup though. He's going to be up in his game. He's going to be wanting to impress.
Yeah, I think you could look at that both sides of the coin, right? You could maybe look at the World Cup and think, well, he needs to impress. He wants to be on the plane. He's going to play as many minutes as possible. Or you could look at it the other way of he's in the World Cup. He doesn't want to make the injury any worse, so maybe have his minutes managed. I think there's 2 ways you can definitely look at that. For me, Trossard is going to play 90 minutes or a good chunk of it, at least 60. So I don't hate that move, but I'm not sure I'd make it myself.
So on that,
Um,
right? I don't. It's about all the England players. There is a 55 squad a World Cup team out now. So right now, nobody even knows that they are guaranteed to be in the World Cup. Playing 11 squad per se. So from that perspective, and Saka is one player which we have heard from the managers over time also, right? That he's so young, he's recovers very fast. He's a consistent 90-minute player. So unless there is a major injury stopping him from playing, I don't see his minutes as a risk. And even if he plays 60 minutes, 70 minutes, that Arsenal attack versus this particular Chelsea defense, I would keep Saka rather than rolling over to another, punty hit like Trossard, who hasn't given many returns in terms of smaller sides against smaller sides. Against big sides, yes, Trossard has been great, but he's kind of a troll in that perspective, and he had been switching around his positions a lot. So we don't know which Trossard will show up for this next game. So definitely, this is not a move that I would say is a great idea, unless there's nothing else to do in the team and we just want to, try things out.
For me, like I think it needs a little bit more consideration than just being like, no, that's a bad move. For me, like I think we could probably all agree that Saka is nailed on to be in the England squad. Like there's no debate about that. If he's fit, he's in that squad. So you've just got, and he played 20 minutes, I believe, against whether they played in the Europa League. I can't remember what it was.
Why do you say Saka is a guarantee in the England squad? Because I see Grealish, Foden, Kane, and then wingers have Rashford. If Kane is holding down the striker position, and Wilson is the substitute for that, then for wingers we have 5 or 6 different options. So
you don't think Saka is nailed on in the England squad?
He is guaranteed to be part of the squad, but I don't see him guaranteed playing.
That's what I'm getting at. If he's guaranteed to be part of the squad, then if he gets injured this week, then he won't be going to the World Cup. This is what I mean. Like if this is why I'm saying he may have his minutes managed. He's coming back from a knock, and then he played 20 minutes in the Europa League. So if he starts against Chelsea, I expect him to start, but that doesn't mean that he's going to play more than 45 minutes of football, depending on how he is.
See, given the position that Arsenal is in, holding on to the top of the table, these are the kind of games they need to win, and Saka is probably the best winger option that they have at the moment. So
I totally agree with that. But if he's feeling it when it gets to half time or 50 minutes in, there's no guarantee that he will be able to play the rest of the game. We will just have to see how it goes. Like I say, I wouldn't personally make that transfer, but I think it's more of a deliberation than just sort of saying no.
Okay,
I think there's factors that can play in.
We've word on the street is Boone is doing his antics. He's up to his usual antics at the moment. So just be very. Again,
there was a thread on Reddit slagging him off. It was hilarious.
Pinch of salt time, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, let's get it up now.
What, Bowden starting, I hope? Because you know what I just thought of? Jesus for Kane, someone upgrade, and then bring in Kane. Bring in De Bruyne. I know, I can't do that, can I?
So, let's have a look, see what this source is. Team News Antics. Who's this person? Okay. 1:10 UK time. So Booner's saying that News Antics confirmed that you'll have the news 5 minutes before me at 1:10. So if you haven't got the patience to wait 5 minutes extra, that's where it is. Okay. All right. So there's no actual news. It's just a confirmation that he's going to get news, right? Okay. It's a bit of a. I thought there was
bit of anticlimactic there, but
yeah, I thought there was something that we could some juicy that we could have talked about, but no news in about 10 or 15 minutes, guys. So
it is coming from a reliable source.
Team news and ticks. Apparently, he's been reliable in the past.
I've
He's
just
got
seen
82.9 thousand followers.
I've just seen one on Twitter from this random guy, and he says that
random guys
on the team. I don't know Twitter, man. I'm just looking at stuff.
Yeah, Twitter is at the moment. Every minute you're gonna get someone posting something that they know about. Some friend of Phil Foden has told him that he's starting or something like that. Some rubbish that comes out. Paulie's saying that he's reliable. He looks reliable. He looks legit.
What do you make of? I think we haven't really covered it, but what do you make of Pep's quotes? Do you take anything from those, or
about Haaland?
Yeah,
I think that you should be careful when listening to Pep.
Yeah,
Pep's very much a troll. Like, he's like the anti FPL. Like, it's the worst thing you want in a manager when it comes to FPL. He's just so cryptic with everything he does and says, and you're second guessing him at your peril. Basically, I think that I think that Haaland starts personally. He's got 2 games before the World Cup. Just get them in, get the game time in for him.
I think the only snippet that
he won't play the 90, I don't think, today.
Yeah.
But I think I think personally he starts. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's benched. So it's like I would say I'm 60-40. I'm 60% Foden starts, 40% he's benched.
Yeah, I'm the same. Do you think that
he's not playing in the World Cup?
Yeah.
So
no.
he's gonna he's gonna want to he's gonna want to get him minutes.
If I was in Pep's shoes, I would probably start Haaland then Alvarez, because Alvarez is definitely there in the Spain squad, right? And if you have to manage some minutes, I think Haaland definitely takes these 2 matches. In fact, even in Carabao Cup, he gets an appearance for sure.
Boona donated £5 to Andy, saying that Haaland's benched, Alvarez and Foden start.
He's such a troll, unbelievable. I think he just wakes up and goes, "Yeah, I'm just going to troll loads of streamers today." It's fantastic. Because Andy will have read that out as well.
Let's have a look.
But I have a
just going back to saying that. Sorry, just saying, like, the only thing I take from the Pep interview was the snippet of when he said that Haaland will have a say in whether he plays or not. And I guess from Haaland's perspective, you would imagine he would want to push for playing. So I guess that's one thing that leans me a bit more towards that he would start.
When Haaland was coming to City, one of the key interviews that he gave was that he wanted to come for City rather than Real Madrid, because Real Madrid would just play him over and over even if he's not feeling it, while City has those options. So you can take it either way.
Here we go. I was gonna play something very quickly from getting the information from Andy here. One sec.
So here's the information I have from the league so far. Haaland's just not playing whatsoever. He's not in the squad. Haaland is benched and Haaland starts. That's the leaks that I've seen so far.
He's basically saying that he's getting leaks about everything, so he's not taking any. He's not listening.
One of them's going to be correct. One of them is going to be correct.
He's getting people super chatting him, going, "I've got leaks that Haaland's starting. I've got leaks that Haaland's benched. I've got leaks that Haaland's not even in the squad." Like, he's just getting loads of people giving him like crap information, basically. It must be so hard being Andy, man. It must be, like, constantly getting bombarded with people claiming to have inside information.
He's got to be so PG as well. Like,
Jason, tell me this. Whatever news comes out for Haaland, does it even matter?
it does for me.
Apart from captaincy. No, apart from captaincy.
Apart from captaincy, no, it doesn't. No. Apart from captaincy, it doesn't matter. Like, if Haaland's benched, I'm not getting rid of Haaland. But you will have people that will do transfers. Haaland out, Alvarez in. You will.
I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that move.
But will they come to regret that? You know, if Haaland comes off the bench second half, nets a haul, you know, he's going to play the full 90 the week after. Will they regret doing that move? That is the question. I think
would rather prefer Haaland to play
Brentford
just
at home.
second half.
90 minutes against Brentford at home. I mean,
the thing is, I can get Haaland back in. So
yeah, you're different because you haven't got the value that a lot of people have got tied up in Haaland. Some people have got, you know, I mean, 5.6 million locked up in Haaland right now. That lack of one team news benching is a bit overreacting personally. But yeah, if you've got not much value, maybe you've got a 0.1, a 0.2, then yeah, maybe it might sway you. But I still think that that's a luxury move. That's a real luxury move to Alvarez in for Haaland. I think that's not a necessary move. Hello, John. KDB captain, Moganamax says, I mean, it's a good option.
So basically,
and one more thing, Jason, do you think having Haaland and if he comes on at after halftime, do you think against tired legs of Fulham, just having Haaland for the 45 minutes after the halftime is a way better choice than having him play the first 45 minutes?
I'm not convinced that if Haaland doesn't start it, that he actually comes on.
Oh yeah, he's coming on.
You reckon?
Yeah.
How long are we talking though? Like,
I think if Haaland doesn't start, then he's coming on in the 65th, 70th minute. I see.
Yeah, I can probably agree with that. To be fair, like, I'm just not convinced he would play.
Just to give him a run out, he's gonna give him a run out. If he doesn't start Haaland, he'll give him a run out. I reckon 70th minute, 65, 70 minutes, he'll come on. He'll probably get a goal. Like, a goal maximum, I think.
Yeah, and a goal is good enough to, you know.
A goal is good enough. Yeah, and that's how I see it anyway. But I don't look down at people transferring him out. Like, if they want to transfer him out on the back of the benching news, then, I mean, by the way, just to clarify, if you're just watching the stream, there's absolutely been no news over Foden or Haaland at all today. That's we're waiting on a potential leak in the next 10 minutes, within the next 10 minutes, to find out exactly what the score. Well, what a reputable in the know knows about the team news. We've also had Tron of India join us. Hey Tron, how you doing? You there, Tron? Can you hear me? Ginge, you were about to say something, I believe, as well.
Oh, I was saying, so basically my whole team, I've pretty much got all my options for my team. So what happens if there's no leaks? What would you do? Just get in Wilson for Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad move.
Just get in De Bruyne.
I mean, but you can't just get into De Bruyne, can you?
Yeah, you know what I mean, the Almiron option.
Yeah, Almiron. I mean, I love the Almiron option. I think Zaha's at Almiron, and De Bruyne for Foden is superstar, stellar moves.
I agree with that because Foden has given us enough anxiety in the past 2 weeks, and going for any other punty option like Alvarez or anything like that doesn't make sense. Just carry forward that anxiety to more and more weeks. It's better to go for De Bruyne for sure, and Almiron is a decent asset, much better than Zaha either way. So you are getting a point, upscale on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, in a minute we'll get some news, I guess.
I wonder what Stevo's doing.
23 minutes or so, 22 minutes away.
I'm sure
from
Stevo is bringing in Ronaldo for sure.
23 minutes away from deadline. How are you feeling, guys? Has Marty sorted out his team yet? He's left. I said, Marty, you've got an hour to think about what you're going to do with your team. and make some ideas and some transfers on some of your Chrome tabs, and he's just left. So I don't know what Marty's doing with his team, because he had some real fires in his team to sort out.
Probably smoking a bong.
Thoughts on these possible moves? Pope, Ward, Cancelo, Trippier, Perisic, Emerson. 1 free transfer. Should I take a hit? I mean, Pope. I mean, you give me your whole team. Maybe Mitrovic to Wilson would be your one transfer you want to do. Captain De Bruyne or Haaland, depending on the news. Yeah, and just maybe if you want to do a move, if a move is burning a hole in your pocket, Mitrovic to Wilson.
There's a part of me that just wants Haaland to get benched and everyone just panic.
Oh God! If in fact I need to, what I need to do, I need to get a thing up so I can change it. De Bruyne. If this is a question. If Haaland's benched, do I captain De Bruyne or do I captain someone like? Do I just go something different and go like Darwin Núñez?
You definitely.
I think we know the answer to that already, Jace. I think we know that De Bruyne is the best captain.
Yeah. People can't captain him because they don't have him. If you have him, definitely that was the reason why you brought him in.
Yeah. I'm just thinking sort of like, okay, so I'll do if Haaland is benched, then I'm going to captain De Bruyne and then I'm going to vice captain Darwin.
You have De Bruyne and Darwin both. Nice.
Yeah, I've got Firmino as well.
That might be a mistake.
Why? I think Firmino starts.
Firmino starts for sure, but you could have a way better forward instead of Firmino and putting all your eggs in Liverpool's attack, which had, I think, third last or second last.
Well, I'm holding out on it for the next 2 games.
Yeah, there's no need to.
The wild card will be the great reset for me. So I'm gonna see how it goes next 2 game weeks. If it, I don't see myself plummeting in rank because I've still got a lot of the, like you were saying earlier on, I've still got a lot of the highly owned players in my team. The only ones that really can punish me are the Newcastle attackers. Like those are the ones that like I'm worried about. Like the Almiron, the Guimaraes, the Wilson picks out there. Maybe even I'm just trying to think, like Trossard maybe would be someone that I'm.
I think I was on
I'm
the
like highly
trackers.
owned, but I'm not worried. Sorry, go ahead.
I think I was on the similar track as you. Game week 12, I brought in Darwin. Game week 13, I brought in Firmino by selling Darwin, and then finally I decided, okay, I don't want to keep my resources invested in Liverpool, so I did Firmino to Jesus, and it worked out fine. The problem with Liverpool is, I mean, they don't have a set strategy in terms of attack as of now. Darwin is still gelling in, and he will definitely do well the more he gels in with Salah. And I think that partnership, having Salah and Darwin, makes more sense in terms of getting a Liverpool haul rather than Firmino and Darwin, because the best formation which I've seen them play is when Firmino is sitting as a false 9 a little bit deeper, including chances for Darwin and Salah.
Yeah. Questions in chat here saying, thoughts here. Jonesburg saying, Andreas and Mitrovic to Almiron and Calvert-Lewin. I don't like Calvert-Lewin. Can you not do like if Andreas and Mitrovic to Almiron, and I guess you haven't got the funds for Wilson, right?
Calvert-Lewin's more than Wilson, isn't he?
Is he?
Calvert-Lewin's like 7.9.
Yeah, 7.9, 8.0.
Wait, he started off at 8 million?
Yeah.
What? I thought he's lower than that. Okay, so yeah, I would be going Almiron and Wilson over Almiron and Calvert-Lewin. I'd be tripling up. I assume you've got Trippier in your team. Almiron, Trippier, and Wilson. If Andreas Pereira and Mitrovic out for Almiron and Wilson is It's nice. He's got 2 free transfers. That's what I'm doing. Oh no, he's got Pope. He's got Pope and Trippier. He can't do Wilson. I don't like Calvert-Lewin. I don't like the pick. Other strikers over Calvert-Lewin, Solanke. Probably don't even have to make the move. Mitrovic is. Probably want to keep on with Mitrovic. To be fair.
I don't like how Skamaka has played recently, but
there's no one else other than Mitrovic and Wilson that I would prefer over Mitrovic.
I think
does he have triple Man City already?
Oh, you're thinking Alvarez?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do Alvarez instead of Calvert-Lewin. If you got triple Man City or not. Foden or Rashford, says Harry in the chat. Foden, but based on the news. Like, if Foden starts, it's a no-brainer what I'd want. But if Foden's benched and you find out that Foden's benched in a few moments, then Rashford. Oh, okay. Oh my God. This is. Oh my God. Paulie's saying, if it's true, predicament. There's some word coming out that Haaland and Foden are not starting.
Both are not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
So what would you do then? Would you think to bring out Haaland for the 1 week, or would you? What do you reckon?
Oh God!
If you have enough funds to get Haaland back, I would swap him for Alvarez.
This is what I'm thinking. I think it could be a big plan in the system. Alvarez in, Salah in, De Bruyne in.
Yeah, I like that.
Hang on.
I like that as long as you can get back to Haaland.
I've got an interesting one here. Let me see if I can do it. I can, you know. What about if I did Firmino out for Alvarez and Salah in for Foden?
Yeah, that would probably be smart. Because you're also
like
getting your coverage, you're getting a punt, and you're also getting.
What's Alvarez's name on here?
Well, that's the thing though. With Haaland's injury, it's so disclosed. I think he's out. I don't think they want to risk him or touch him. Because let's be honest, he's got the rest, and who City got in the next game? It's not like a hard team. I think I'm gonna do Alvarez, Salah.
Oh my God, guys! I'm about to get Salah in my team again. Oh no, I can't. Shite, I ain't got enough money. Fuck.
Andy tweeted, didn't he, saying according to team news and ticks, Foden and Haaland not in the starting 11. Do you think Pep could just be a massive troll and just play a false 9 so Alvarez don't even start? Could you imagine?
Has got to start. You can play anywhere in the front three. You can play left wing striker, centre forward.
I don't know if I'd be confident enough to say he's got to start when you've got Pep as your manager. He could play Bernardo Silva false 9 for all we know.
Yeah, but who's going to be playing in that midfield?
Mahrez, Grealish.
Yeah, but that's not midfield.
Gundogan. KDB. Rodri.
I know Rodri will play because when I went to Sevilla game, he got rested.
So hang on, are they benched? Haaland is Haaland on the bench?
All I'm reading is the tweet I've just seen from Andy that says, no Haaland or Foden in the starting 11 according to team news and ticks. No idea if they're benched or whether Alvarez starts. So, yeah.
What about this? What about Cancelo in?
You know, the ITK FPL. This is the guy that we're relying on as a reliable source, right?
Yeah.
He says no Haaland, no Foden. So,
what do you guys think of these moves? Trent out, Foden out, Haaland out.
Hey, Jason.
For Alvarez, Salah, and Cancelo. I'm on the site now.
Try making a transfer. Just changing a captain. It won't work. It seems like the app is also not working.
Oh shit!
Did tell people this. I did warn people.
I had the transfers ready to go.
You're gonna have to be sat there trying to like do it for the next 10 minutes and hope you get lucky.
Yeah, I think it's starting to go now.
Right. So guys, what do you think about me bringing Salah in for Foden, Alvarez in for Haaland, and Trent out for Cancelo?
Love it. Who are you going to captain?
KDB. Oh, I can't do the moves. It's not working. Shit.
Jason, go balls to the wall and get that captain on Alvarez.
Oh my god, dude. I can't. It's not letting me do anything. The site's fucked. The site's down.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I can't get in Salah and De Bruyne.
It's not letting me do it, guys. No, what is going on? No.
Yeah, it's not letting me do it either.
It's like this is like a fire. This is like a fire. Like I'm witnessing my house burning down.
I'm trying to get Alvarez in for Haaland and it won't let me do it.
Come on.
Jason, maybe you can use the app. App is still functioning.
No, it's not. The app's down as well. I'm on the app now.
Hello.
I was just about. No, I was able to change my captain to Jesus just now. So.
I mean, I'm on the app trying to swap Alvarez for Haaland and it's not letting me do it. Yeah, it just says server error. Maybe you can swap around the captains, but you definitely can't make a transfer.
So what would you do if you're in my scenario now? Because I'm struggling to think. Just De Bruyne pump and keep Haaland.
Well,
if you can make the transfer, get the De Bruyne in.
Alright. What? In a bit, not now. I'm alright then.
I knew this was going to happen.
This
Get
is
team
ridiculous.
news and then bang.
This is ridiculous.
I'm just glad that I made my moves early.
Yeah, I'm
obviously-
glad that I've
obviously I've
got
got-
Wilson in way early, man. Saved point 1 and just got saved.
Looks like Rico Henry needs to come on and get a haul.
No way, man. No way. This is so crazy. Like, can you, everyone in chat, can you stop going on the website, please? Seriously.
Go subscribe to Rumble. Get off the FPL website.
Oh my god, Rumble's not even working. I don't even know why it's not working. I need to sort it out.
Please. Send a transfer request. Please. Come on.
Stevo sat there with his potato and his antenna out of his potato.
Yes,
Oh my god.
Mine's worked.
Are you joking? What on the app?
Yes. I think. Well, it said success transfer. So I'm hoping. I just need to refresh my app, I think.
Yeah, if your app is accepted, this happened to me last week. If your app is accepted, the transfer will go through. If the app is not accepted, then it is a problem.
Wait, so what should I do then? Captain Foden or what? Because I'm so confused because it's not updating.
No, we don't captain Foden if he's benched.
Yeah, but no, I transferred him out to bring in De Bruyne. It said transfer success and it's not popping up.
Oh, God, I don't know then. Like, my app's completely frozen.
Yes, it works! Get in!
Yeah. You alright there, Jason? You having a mental breakdown? Oh, he's gone.
Right, now De Bruyne's my captain. Alan can be on Vice.
Oh my god. What is going on?
I hope this doesn't work. It was so funny. You'll get a dickhead of the week award, Jason.
This is incredible. This is just fun for me.
It is, exactly. It's fun for me now. I was in pain, but now it's actually good.
Oh, yes! I think it's worked. I don't know if it's worked. It's crashed. The game's just crashed. Oh my god. I don't know if it's worked. I have absolutely no idea.
This is where we all transfer Haaland out. He comes on and scores a hat-trick.
Connection problem. It said it confirmed, but I don't know if it actually did confirm. Yeah.
It does.
What?
It does.
Well, I don't know because it kicked me out of the app. It kicked me out of the app, so I'm like I don't actually have no idea.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it's quite amusing.
Don't laugh.
I'm in the same predicament. I'm sat here trying to get Alvarez in.
I've got Alvarez is my captain.
Good. Let's go.
And De Bruyne is my vice. It's worked. Oh!
Are you on the website, Jason, or yeah?
Yeah, I'm on the website now.
I'm gonna have to do the website, aren't I?
Here we go. Here we go. I'm on the website. I went on the app and it worked. Alvarez, shall I captain Alvarez?
I think, yeah. I'm going to captain Alvarez if I can get him in my team.
Oh my god, I'm so glad it went through.
Sorry, this page is not available this time.
Oh my god. It's going to get... I hope you guys get your transfers through.
I changed my vice captain on this.
I've got it. Alvarez is captain. Balls to the wall. And the ownership of Alvarez, 1.6. I want to see that ownership go up. That's going to go up now.
Can't even change my captain.
Keep trying. Use the app. Use the app. I use the app.
I'm using the app now.
Just use the app and the website.
Just keep saying server error.
Connection problem. I keep getting on the app. Oh my god. The light makes my phone look really dirty. Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Loading. Oh no, I've got to sign in again now.
Oh my god, guys. Has anyone been able to do everything you need to do? Let me know in chat.
I'm swapping me bench around. Put Gay first, I reckon.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put Pereira first on my bench. And I think he'll get an assist if Mitrovic gets a back on that.
This is so frustrating, but quite hilarious at the same time.
Keep trying, guys. If the site's down for you, keep trying. What about if Alvarez is benched also?
Oh, let's not start saying stuff like that.
That's unlikely. Very unlikely.
Pep has already said if Haaland doesn't play, Alvarez is the first choice. So,
I mean, I get Ben White off the bench. That's what happens.
That's why I've kept Haaland in and just done the Almiron transfer.
I've gone against what I said about the Haaland value. I've completely gone against it.
I would have taken a stupid hit for Foden to Madison. I'm glad the website is down. Still consider it for people who are not able to make their planned transfers, but I'm glad it saved me from making that.
Phil Stone says sorted Foden and Salah out to KDB and Almiron. Nice. KDB captain. Nice, Phil. Thanks, Jason. No way, Dave. I hope everyone's got their stuff. I hope everyone has sorted out their team. News is that Haaland and Foden are benched. Take that information and do with it as you will. Reputable source it's come from. Does it mean that Foden and Haaland are not going to feature in the game? No, it doesn't. But I do think the majority of the game, they're going to be coming on sort of the 70th minute mark.
Can't even change my captain. This is annoying.
Just keep trying, Paps. Keep trying, dude. Keep going. You got 3 minutes. Just try on the app.
Because then I might get in.
Try on the app. Try on. I've used the third-party app, and it allowed me to keep pressing it. But now I'm just getting connection problem on the app.
Yeah, I'm getting connection problems.
Everyone turn off your computers and I might get in.
I'm guessing it's going to get worse the closer you get to deadline with people panicking even more, right?
I mean, we're like 3 minutes away, right? 2 minutes.
Keep trying. I think just that's all you can do right now. Keep trying. Yeah, we thought that this was going to be a problem. Who do you captain? Cancelo. No, I captain Alvarez. It's on the screen. It's on the screen right now.
If Alvarez bangs now, I'm going to be so annoyed.
I'm not getting him in. I might get him in next week, but I just think the Haaland's might play the next week and just chance it because he's got the World Cup coming.
I think Haaland will play next week.
Come on.
And plus, anyway, that's what I want for probably my FPL team. I probably still want the De Bruyne. I still want the Haaland, and I still want Cancelo. Best free that you can get.
Zevera, fuck off. Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, it's loading. Come on.
You can bench.
Rag, I was managed to get through. $20 super chat. What's with that, Dave? To ask a question. Who have you captained, Dave? The app is working. Says Ragav.
Not for me.
Have you got it on the website as well? You keep trying it on the website.
I'm just spamming both.
Okay.
Got like 30 seconds.
Maybe it's a sign though. If it doesn't go through, maybe it's a sign.
Yeah, it's a sign that I'm gonna get whacked.
No. If Haaland comes off the bench and outscores Alvarez, could easily happen.
Actually, it's unpredictable.
It's just more annoying that I can't captain KDB.
Who have you got captain at the moment? Haaland.
Haaland, yeah.
Who's your vice?
KDB.
So I think.
But obviously, if Haaland comes on for 20 minutes,
but Haaland's on the bench, right? Or have they actually used the wording not in the starting lineup? Because he may not even be in the squad.
Hasn't even said.
So you're hoping that Haaland's not in the squad.
Yeah, been kicked out. Deadline
has gone, boys.
Didn't manage to get it, sadly. Oh well. Hope the game gets called off.
Wow.
Wow. That's a bit extreme, but I will be watching it through my fingers for sure now.
I don't work at 4, so I can only watch for like 10 minutes.
I don't even know how I got in. I absolutely don't have any idea how I got in.
I bet Stevo got on before I did.
I bet Stevo got in. Stevo, if you're listening in, did you get in? Did you? In fact, I'm going to message him now. Stevo, did you hear about the team news for Man City? And if so, have you managed to connect to the website and make the transfers that you were looking to make? Let me know. I'm still on air and I would love to play out the response.
You might have to reply by carrier pigeon. We'll see.
Well, it takes 30 minutes to reply via a voice note. I'm just, I guess it's unlucky for people that weren't able to make the I'm really relieved I've made my transfers, but I did a -8 though.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
honestly, there's a part of me that really, really hopes Alvarez doesn't do anything, but I'd love for him to bang for you as well, so it's kind of bittersweet at the same time. I'll just be sat there just going, oh, for fuck's sake, why couldn't I get him in? But if he does nothing, I'll look like a genius. So.
I mean, in retrospect, I didn't need to bring Rashford in for Zaha. and I would have only done a -4. It's because
this is where we get the actual team news, and Haaland and Foden both start.
Oh man, I'd be turning off.
What if someone gets injured in the warm up and Haaland starts? Can you imagine?
You can see the pitchforks coming out if that happens.
What's the skinny, Jason? Is Foden and Haaland starting, or is the bold fraud struck again? The bold fraud is struck again, my friend. Haaland and Foden apparently are benched. Haaland 45-minute hat-trick. Cage Paps. Would not surprise me. It really wouldn't if that were to happen. And you know what? It'd be just my luck this season for that to happen, to be fair. I've had rotten luck this season. Compared to previous seasons. Maybe it's catching up with me. So if you have got captaincy on Haaland, all is not lost. I don't see him staying on the bench for the whole game. There's a chance he plays anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes in this game. And if he does, he's got a capability of getting you 2 goals.
See, I can't decide now whether I want him to stay on the bench. I think I do. I think I want him to stay on the bench. And have KDB be my captain.
Oh, I've got Cancelo in. Who did I take out? Oh, I took out Trent, didn't I? Now I'm really hoping that Tottenham score now.
5-0, Alvarez hat-trick. Cancelo 3 assists. You're laughing.
Can you imagine that? I think Stevo would find a way of raging on via carrier pigeon.
There'd be a members video where if you don't like the C word, it's probably best not to watch.
If you don't like swearing, you better tune out now. Karma says I have no playing goalkeeper and starting Haaland and Foden. No idea who I've captained. Wait, what? No playing goalkeeper? Well, that's an issue you had prior to this game site going down, so you should have solved that issue anyway.
I imagine he had Kepa. I don't know who the other one is. Maybe like a 4 million non-playing keeper.
Well, it'd be Ward, wouldn't it? Surely.
You'd have thought so, yeah. But...
I would just write. No idea who I've captained. Oh, Karma, man, you need to know you had your captaincy on. I would write this game week off, says Cage Paps. Just cut to Karma. Cancelo is my vice unless my transfers went through. Flying Dutchman. No, that's an interesting one. What about people that were trying to make transfers weren't able to? Would some of those gone through?
I'm convinced that if it said server error when you were trying to do it, then no. They were gone through. I don't believe so anyway. If it like confirmed it and then kicked you out the app, I think you're fine.
Yeah, it kicked me out the app. It confirmed it and kicked me out. Well, when I say it confirmed it, it changed it on the screen for me and then kicked me out. So
yeah.
The fact that I was able to go into because I saw it on the app go through, but then I went to the website and I loaded the website up and then I saw it on the website, so I know that those transfers have gone through because I've got it confirmed on the website. Whereas there will be people that are going to be like on tenterhooks right now thinking, did they go through or not?
Steve will be happy anyway. Burnley have just scored at the 45th minute. Proper cheering. Bloody hell, we nearly got for a full string without mentioning Burnley. I apologise.
Oh, bloody Burnley. Anyway, I think let's quickly have a look at the game. So, do you want to quickly have a look at these? What do you think the scores are going to be in today's this afternoon's games?
I'm just looking at them now.
Leeds, Bournemouth. I'm going to go with in fact, I'm going to bring the old marker pen up.
Yeah, get the old pen up.
Okay, today's games: Leeds versus Bournemouth.
3-1 for me.
I reckon 3-1 to Leeds.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Bournemouth actually in this one. I'm gonna go against the opinion of you, yeah. I'm gonna go 2-1 Bournemouth. Man City Fulham, I'm gonna go 3-0.
See, I'm gonna go 4-1. And hope Fulham don't score. So, but I think.
Hang on,
Fulham
did you
might
say
score.
4-1?
Yeah, 4-1.
Right.
I think Fulham might nick a goal. I hope they don't, but I think they might nick one.
Nottingham Forest Brentford. Oh God. Brentford are at Tony. Oh, this is going to be a 1-0. This is going to be 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. Bad for all.
Yeah, 1-0.
2-2 for me. 2-2.
Wolves versus Brighton.
1-1.
I'd go 1-0 Brighton or 2-0 Brighton.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton on this one. Everton versus Leicester.
3-2 to Leicester.
Nah, there are not that many goals in this game, man. Danny Ward is a legend. I'm sure Leicester will not get more than one goal. I'd say Madison next one, so 1-0 Leicester.
Nah, this game's got goals in it, I think. I think this is a high scorer.
Not yet, Joel. He hasn't sent a voice note over yet. Chelsea, okay, then we've got Sunday's games. We've got Chelsea-Arsenal. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm going to go... I think Arsenal are going to win this 2-2. Chelsea going to get a goal, or they're going to... Yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal. Oh, yeah, my God. Oh, my God. Stevo's replied back. Do you know what he said?
Let's hear it.
Stevo replied back. Did you see this on the stream? In fact, I'm going to bring a full screen up. This is Stevo's reply.
Can you read out, Jace? Just I haven't got the stream up.
Site crashed. No idea my team. 0 transfers.
Oh. Yeah, that's bad.
Where our teams aren't that similar anymore.
I bet he's sat there fuming.
Well, he's 8 points to the better of me so far. So, facts be facts.
Yeah, true, but he won't be happy.
I'm going to ask him, how are you feeling? Where were we? We were on to I reckon Arsenal win 2-1 Chelsea over Chelsea. And your thoughts?
2-1 as well to Arsenal. I think it's going to be an end-to-end game.
Aston Villa, Man United. I think we keep a clean sheet.
1-0 Man United.
1-0 wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to go 2-0.
Fair enough.
Southampton versus Newcastle. I'm going to say that Newcastle beat Southampton 2-0.
3-1 for me.
You think they concede?
Yeah.
West Ham, Crystal Palace.
Such a bad game.
Now I got Zaha out. No, yeah, I think I'm going to go
3-0 Palace, Zaha hat-trick.
I'm going to go 1-0. Oh, no, 1-0, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say 1-1.
And then finally, Spurs versus Liverpool. I think this could be the most... Well, I reckon this is going to have more goals than any other game. I'm going to go...
Really?
This is going to be the high-scoring game of the week. I'm going to say this Liverpool-Spurs game is going to be... You're going to laugh at this. 3-2. To Liverpool.
We've spoken over the last week, and you've changed your mind on this scoreline every single time we've said.
Well, I said originally, the Liverpool win it by 2 goals.
Yeah, and then you said you think it'll be 2-0. And then I think you said Tottenham are going to score.
It's because I took Trent out. It's because I took Trent out. I've added an extra goal to Spurs.
Yeah, always the case. Yeah, now Trent has gone. Liverpool definitely concede.
All right, okay. I'm gonna go back to what I said about at least 2 goals. 3-1 to Liverpool. 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm on 3-1 as well. Are we still on for our father, Jace?
Yeah, do it.
Goals?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Cool.
We need to know when Stevo's back to do a stream. I think we're gonna need a reaction from Stevo. Maybe we can get him on. Yeah. We need to get Stevo on a Discord. If not, you'll have to go to a cafe or something and get better internet. Does
Torbay have Uber? I'm tempted to send Stevo
the way that Stevo talks about Torbay, it's almost like it's like in the Dark Ages. Like they do have 4G in Torbay. Like they do have internet. It's just that he may have to travel to a cafe or somewhere to get better internet. But with that said, we're 15 minutes away from actual team news. I'm going to call the stream on the hour. So we've got... But first of all, can I find out... Vish, sorry, did you say that you made transfer? You got your transfer through it, or you?
Yeah.
You there?
So yeah. So I did not have to make any deadline transfer because, as I mentioned when we were discussing my team, I did the Mitrovic to Wilson early in the week, save 0.1 on it. Now, and we discussed that taking a hit with my team is not advisable either way. So I didn't have to make a transfer. It was just the captaincy which needed to be shifted.
Sorry, yeah. Did you manage to change the captaincy off Haaland to in time?
I moved it to Jesus because I personally believe Chelsea's not in a decent shape from a defensive perspective, and Arsenal's attack is too good to ignore. My only concern with Jesus was he's converting only, he's not converting that well, and that had been his issue since he was at Man City. So from that perspective, I mean, he's not converting well, but he's still engaged, and his numbers are phenomenal. I would rather go with Jesus rather than taking a punt against Haaland when they are playing Tottenham, taking a punt against Salah when they are playing Tottenham, and Tottenham is posting decent defensive numbers either way. So between Salah and Jesus, I went with Jesus, and it went through.
Okay, that's cool. So it's gone through. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And Matt, we know that you weren't able to, so you've gone with the same team. Let's bring your team up again. Call you Matt. It's Max. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because I read Matt out earlier. So you've got captaincy for De Bruyne as captain if Haaland doesn't play, what he will. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong there, is there? I mean,
yeah, I'm not unhappy. Like, if I could have got the Alvarez transfer through, I would have done. But it is what it is now.
It is, yeah. So talk to us about your Pokemon tournament then. Let's hear about it. Let's hear about it.
Well, I'll just start you off from the weekend. So we travelled down, went on the Eurostar. I don't know if you've been on that before.
Never, no.
No, it's pretty good actually. Like it, I don't know how much people know about it, but it basically goes under the channel, and it's really quick. It's like I was travelling to Lille from London, and it takes like an hour and 10 minutes to get there, which isn't too bad. And then it stops off in like Brussels and stuff. So yeah, we got there, had some food on the night, just like a KFC, just a quick easy meal, and then played the tournament on the Saturday, and I did pretty well. Ended up finishing the day in 20th place, out of 550.
What?
Yeah, so basically what happens is if you finish inside the top 64 players, you make it through to day 2 of the tournament. And that's when you get closer to like winning stuff and like prize money and stuff like that. So I went into day 2 in like 20th, but unfortunately I didn't do very well in the second day. But the main thing was just getting to that day 2 because you get like points and stuff, which is the end goal to try and.
So you went into day 2 and 20th.
Yeah.
So you're up against like some pretty big names then at that point.
Yeah. So I guess the easiest way to explain it is it's like chess. So you play against somebody 1v1, and if you beat them, you'll go to a win and no losses. So then you'll be paired up against somebody who also has a win and no losses. And it will just carry on like that. So let's say if you win the first 5 games, you'll then be paired up against somebody who's also won the first 5 games.
Wow.
So it just gets harder and harder and harder. So that in the first day, I ended up winning 6 games, drawing 2 and losing 1. Wow. So essentially that put me on 20 points going into day 2. Yeah, it was decent, but then unfortunately I didn't do very well in day 2.
Is this the best you've ever done in a tournament?
No, I came 4th in one in 2019, just before COVID.
How much of the game is down to pure skill and how much of the game is down to pure luck?
So there's definitely an RNG based in it because you're essentially shuffling cards and they can come out in any order.
Yeah.
However, the skill aspect is huge because obviously there's multiple decisions you can make every single time you have a turn in the game.
Right.
So it tends to be the same sort of people doing well every single time, which is obviously when you see that it's not luck at that point. There's obviously times where things can go against you, etc. But in the long run, the best players win consistently. But yeah, like I was saying, I had a 4th place, which was in start of 2019, end of 2018, I can't remember, and that got me $1,500 and a load of prize support.
Nice.
But
so do you have like a ranking then, a world ranking?
So basically, what it is that the aim of the game is to make enough points to qualify for the World Championships every year. So last year, it's 350 points to qualify for the World Championship. Last 2 years, I've been able to do it. And this year, so what will happen is like I made day 2, and I ended up finishing inside the top 64 players. So that got me 40 points. So based on your rank, based on where you finish in the tournaments that you play, accumulates your points to go towards the World Championships. So, and obviously, depending on how well you do in certain events, there's prize money for certain events. So, I'm going to Poland next week, and if for example I won it, then I'd get $5,000, a load, and then I'd get a travel stipend, which is basically you get paid maybe $1,000, which then can pay for a trip to wherever you want to go. So like they've got tournaments all over the place, like in Brazil, America, Mexico. I mean, the World Champions this year is in Japan. So if I'm lucky,
you've got enough to get there yet, or
no? So the start of the season is like August.
Oh right, so it's only recently started then.
Yeah.
Right.
So the last,
so you got
So the last World Championships ended in August, which was in London, and then the new season begins. I've played 2 events, and I've got 90 points so far. So I need another 260. So I'm just going to different places trying to get these points, trying to qualify for the World Championships. And ultimately, if I can do that, I'll be able to go to Japan and compete there.
Man, that's incredible, dude.
It's just like
you need to blog it. You need to blog the experience if you go to Japan.
Yeah, like it'll be sick. Like it's a once in a lifetime trip, and I really want to go. I've just got Hope that I can do well enough to get there, sort of thing. I think I can't remember if I said to someone before. I was like, I'm happy to rep some Elite FPL merch if I can get my hands on some.
Okay.
Because you know if you have like a mouse mat, like quite a long one,
yeah,
for instance, like we play on one of those, so it's not a mouse mat, but it's like a play mat sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's probably difficult to explain if you've not used one before. But it's just like a long mat, like a padded mat that you put your cards on, etc. And I could just have like Elite FPL on there, which I think would be quite cool.
Yeah, a few people have asked about the merch. I need to get it sorted out. My goal will be to have it all sorted out for Christmas.
But I think the most interesting thing from the weekend, and I'd definitely be interested to hear people's thoughts on it. So we went to a restaurant on Sunday night.
Apparently, very quickly, whilst you're there, Mitrovic is apparently benched.
What?
So Ginge, did he make, before he left, what did Ginge do? He did he do the Alvarez?
Did he do the KDB to Almiron thing? The KDB Almiron Zaha.
I think he did. He's kept Mitrovic, so he won't be happy.
Well, he's got Gahi coming off to start now, right? If Mitrovic don't come on, I suppose it's not terrible.
Well, if he doesn't start, if he doesn't come on. And obviously, lots of other people with Mitrovic as well won't be too happy with that news.
I think the thing is, you probably can't expect too much from Mitrovic from that game anyway.
Yeah.
So it's maybe like if he comes on and gets a 1 point,
it's the difference between a 1 and a 2 pointer, right?
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Anyway.
No, sorry. As I was saying.
Yeah. Talk about the restaurant, and then in context, people were listening in very quickly. For people who don't know what we're talking about, before. We were talking about Max and his journey down in France to do a Pokemon tournament. He's doing very, very well, and he's looking to become eligible to go to the World Championships in Japan next year. Is that right, Max? And
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to us about your this restaurant.
Yeah. So we'd booked like one of these all-you-can-eat meat places where they sort of like stand over you with a skewer and what meats you want, etc. So we booked to go to one of those. So we walked in, decent enough place, sat down, got explained everything. Yeah, no problem. So the meat starts coming over and we're eating, etc. We probably get, I don't know, been there maybe about half an hour. And we see a mouse run across the floor.
Oh, man.
So at this point, I'm kind of like, shit, like, what do we do now?
What's it like in the kitchen?
Well, this is exactly what I'm thinking. So, like Ratatouille, you would imagine. But, I mean, at this point, like, it's a bit different because you're at an all-you-can-eat place, so you kind of unlimited. You can have whatever you want. It's not like they haven't brought your meal out yet or you've finished your meal.
Maybe that's what you're eating.
Well, this is exactly where it's going, but... So at this point, I'm kind of like, I kind of feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't really know what to do. So I've like, my friend is like a manager at Nando's. So I've sort of like texted her and said, like, what would you do? Do you know if this had happened to you? And she was like, well, I'd close the restaurant down, etc., and stop serving food. So I basically said to everyone, like, look, let's sort of stop eating and go speak to him because I'm like not very happy about this sort of thing. So we stopped eating. I go and speak to the guy, and he's like, he's a Chinese French guy. That's the way it comes across. But like he could speak a little bit of English. So we sort of said to him, like, look, we're not overly happy about like what we've seen. He's seen it as well, by the way. It's not like we're making stuff up. Like he acknowledges that he's seen it. So we go and speak to him and say, look, we're not very happy about this, etc., etc. We're sort of happy to pay for the drinks like that we've ordered, but we're not very happy about paying for the food as we feel it might have been contaminated. So we get into a debate with this guy and he's kind of saying, look, I know there's a mouse, etc., but you still have to pay the bill. And then we negotiate with him and he's like, look, if you pay for... So the bill was like €35 each. So he's like, well, if you pay €27 each, then that's fine. And like at this point, I'm kind of thinking, well, you've admitted blame. You've admitted that there's a mouse in there. Like, I don't really feel like we should be paying for the bill. So we got into a bit of a standoff because I'm sure everyone knows I can talk for a long time. I don't like backing down if I feel like I'm in the right. And I think as well, like, if that happened in a restaurant in England, I don't think that would fly. I think they would just be like, oh, really, really sorry. Like,
Yeah.
the food's on us. Like, here's a voucher for next time. Do you know, like, we really apologise, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with these guys, they were like, nah, like, it just happens, etc., etc. So what ended up happening was I got into an argument, a heated discussion with one of the guys, the chefs that came out. And basically what happened is they ended up calling the police. So the 6 of us stood there. And so the thing is, what we could have done, we could have just walked out. But I think that just makes it look worse, as if we were trying to, like, dodge the bill.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they thought. I think they thought we were just trying to pull a fast one, like 6 English guys coming over and like trying not to pay for the food. So I was like, nah, we'll just wait for the police. So the police turn up, 3 armed police. I'm talking like guns, pepper spray, batons, the whole shebang.
Well, over there they've got like 3 lots of police, haven't they?
Well, this was like armed police.
Right. Okay.
This wasn't just like your local Bobby who were just like walking and, you know, like they were serious. So sort of gone up to them, shook their hand and said, look, this is what's going on. Obviously none of them spoke a word of English. So I'm like, oh great. So I'm now on my phone, like trying to Google translate everything.
Oh, tell me, was that handy?
Yes and no. Like it was handy, but it just took such a long time. Because like I would be trying to say like a few sentences, so I've got to like type all that out, and then they've got to type it all back to me. So it would just take forever, basically. And there, like I say, there was 3 police officers. One of the guys, like a little guy, he looked like he was kind of in charge. A woman, and then another guy. We're talking to this other guy, and he was kind of like felt like he was a little bit understanding of the situation. But because it was dragging on for so long, they wanted to see our passports. And I don't know, like in the moment, I'm not really sure if I should have given him my passport. But I did, which may have been a mistake. But I didn't want to like sort of like not have a passport, not show him it, and then be like,
why? So they wanted to confirm who you are first and foremost.
I believe that was the main thing. Yeah.
Do you not have a driving license?
No, I had my passport on me.
Right. Okay. So why were you worried about giving him your passport?
Just because, like, I guess you don't really know what they can do with that information from there. Like, if I gave him my passport, could he, I don't know, bar me from France? Would I have to get rid of the English embassy?
No. He's got no immigration powers.
No, well, I obviously, I'm not overly clued up on that. I was maybe just a little bit skeptical. I think when I spoke to people afterwards, they were just checking that, I wasn't like an illegal immigrant or I was like legit sort of thing.
Well, first and foremost, they're probably checking to see if you want...
if I've got a criminal record.
A history of not paying for items or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Just give like an intelligence perspective, probably just wanting to... You know, especially with a language barrier, they probably were highly suspicious and like weren't able to get all the answers that they were probably after from you initially. But you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, you've got to the point where you speak to the police, you're translating with them, they ask to see your passport. What happens next?
Well, this is it. So I'm trying to communicate with this guy, and it basically got to a standoff where like. The thing was, the owners were denying that there was a mouse there. So, like, we had reasonable cause. We weren't, like, trying to try it on or anything. But they just got to a point where they were like, no, you either pay the bill or you get put in custody for 48 hours. It was basically a case of, like, you either do it or we're just taking you to prison.
Wow.
And...
Did you pay the... So, was the offer still on for paying the 27?
So, what ended up happening was that we ended up so the offer got revoked again. It was all just a mess again because of the language barrier. But we ended up paying €30 and didn't pay for the drinks. But yeah, like, I'm not racist in the slightest, but it just felt like there was an agenda against us from the beginning.
Well, unfortunately, from all the countries I've been to, we've got a very bad reputation in France and Spain, as certainly young English adults going over there, causing issues and problems. So I think that there's definitely a stigma. It just felt like that they didn't want a resolution to it. It was either like you either pay or you come with us. There was no like middle ground there. Compromise.
I just think if that had happened in this country, that wouldn't have been the case.
Oh no, definitely. And also, if it had happened in this country, the likelihood would have been the police would have attended, and they would have taken all the information from both parties, but it would be veering away from a criminal matter into more of a civil matter.
Yeah.
Where dishonestly appropriate. So to steal something, you have to just to be proven to be dishonest in your actions. Did you dishonestly go there with the intent to have food and not pay for it? Did you dishonesty? And if there's no intent there's no dishonesty in appropriate property belonging to another person with the intent to permanently deprive that other person of the said property. If you haven't got all of the criteria there, then you essentially are not committing theft. Or fraud. In this case, you've got a good reason to see. From my point of view, I think a reduction of the bill would have been appropriate. You still had beverages that you would be, a reasonable person would expect you to pay for.
Yeah, well, they're the things that have no chance of being contaminated, right? So I'm like, sealed
beverages. Now, when it comes to open food, especially with without you seeing the state of the kitchen, I think you'd have a right to kind of argue a case of having your food waived, like the bill for your food waived, and if not, then it's something that can be settled, in a civil case. Certainly not needing for the police to turn up and take the side of the business owner, because probably different in France, but certainly over here, the police is really there to prevent a breach of the peace, right?
Yeah.
If you're being civil, they're being civil. There's no shouting, there's no pushing, shoving, there's no physical threat. Then the police really are just there as observers. They're not there as anything else. Whereas in that case, they were there to back up the restaurant owner and to get you to pay for your food. Maybe it was because they just wanted to be gone and want to get on with their day, and they probably didn't want to be there for too long.
That's what it felt like. Do you know? It felt like we were in a lose-lose scenario. Like they were always going to back the French guys, and I think if we'd have been French, it might have been a different story. But I think they just assumed that like the English guys causing a nuisance. Like, let's just give them the ultimatum and get rid of them. And it's sad because
it's left you with a negative experience now, isn't it? It's left you with this, feeling now that you've been disappointed, and you may think differently about certain parts of France. You may feel differently about going to eat out in France, but I mean, everywhere is different. I mean, if different regions will be different in France. It's, like I said, there's like 3 different police forces. So the police force that you dealt with there may have completely been different. They like you said, they had guns. They came with like their sprays and everything. Out on show, maybe they were the more militaristic police, and if they were, then you're going to be dealt with differently than the municipal everyday bobby that's walking the street.
I think it's right, like you said. I think there's definitely, if you go abroad to certain places, there is a stigma against English people.
Yeah, 100%. I went many times to Mallorca. Went one time to Mallorca, and I had walking down the street. We had a few to drink. I had my England shirt on, and I was walking in. I was walking in the streets, and there was like a street light with Mitrovic is definitely on the bench. No, he's not even on the bench. Mitrovic isn't even on the bench.
Oh well.
I mean, so yeah,
that's probably kind of good, but yeah.
So yeah, I was walking in the street in Mallorca, and do you know the old like gas street lamps? So they've got a big like elaborate like tops to them where it kind of comes out with a glass, and then it's got like a decorative top to it. Well, one of those were lying in the road, in the middle of the road. I don't even know how it fallen off, or if it had been knocked off in some way. But I go into the middle of the road on this relatively quiet Mallorca road. I pick up this because I'm thinking, what if a car doesn't see it and it goes plowing right into it? It's going to do so much damage to a car. I pick it up from the middle of the road, and as I'm picking it up and walking to the edge of the curb, a police car comes around the corner, and I'm like, oh shit, And what they put on their lights, and they pull up. And they look at me, and they don't speak a word of English, and I don't speak a word of Spanish, and I'm trying to explain to this officer, saying no. I literally was like, I was like doing these like walking, and then I look and I see in the road, and they had their guns and everything like there, and in the end they looked at us, and my mates were like pretty much not wanting anything to do with me at this point, like. They were like they were like further down the road at that point, and I was like, great, cheers guys, I'm going to be in some Mallorcan prison or something. And long story short, they were talking to each other, went on the radio, they didn't even ask my ID or anything. They just said, Ryan, you go. And I was like, oh god, I got let off there, but I was really worried that I was going to get blocked up for the whole of my holiday. But yeah, just again, the stigma, I did feel at the time like the stereotype of the young English adult being over in on the continent is definitely exists, 100%.
You just feel like you just don't have a chance, and like you're just at the mercy of whatever they're saying.
You're just a drunken lout that's going to cause problem, damage, and issues, and the police don't want to deal with it. Well, they do, but they don't want to deal with it in a nice way. They just want to, make.
But it's easy to just be like, right, off you go, or we arrest you. There's no conversation. It's just you either do this or you go into a cell.
Yeah, it's.
I would be interested though to hear from anyone who works in a kitchen sort of thing. If that scenario happened to them, what would they do? Because I've heard a couple of different scenarios that could play out, but for me, I just felt like the fairest way was just sort of wave the food and move on. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I think that. I think you were probably hard done by, to be fair. 3 girls in my city. Go away and spam another chat. 69 girls XYZ. Right, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. It's gone 2 o'clock. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 23 minutes. My wife's messaging me asking me when I'm coming off. We're gonna spend the afternoon. I want to watch the City game, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the chance because I need to go out now. So. Max, thank you so much. Thank you, Vish. Thank you, everyone that came on earlier on. I know Ginger's come on. We had. I'm just reading this.
Marty was on as well.
Nice little Alvarez captain for the Juice. Uncle Juicy's captain Alvarez too. Nice one. Marty, thank you so much, Dave, for the super chat earlier on and the gifted sub for the membership. Sorry. Cheers, Phil. Cheers, Peter. Thanks to Marty and all the other callers that came on earlier on today as well. It's much appreciated. Cheers, Max. I'll catch up with you. Probably be back tomorrow for the Sunday surgery at. Do you know what? I might do the Spurs Liverpool game.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game. I might cover that. I might cover that game. I'll be back tomorrow for the Spurs Liverpool game, and in the meantime, we'll find out from Stevo what's going on. In fact, did he reply?
Let me just check if he replied. He's not even received the message yet, so he's got no internet. Right, guys, catch you later. All the best.
Yeah. Best of luck to everyone. See you all later.
Bye.
Thank you.